There's a show in town, it's going down. Every week we're back on solid ground. Steel toe slipping, but we're gripping. Got the tea to spill, it's always flipping. From April's scrimp to Aaron's glee. Oh, this drama's just a spree. Polydrama, legal trauma. Another win, oh, that's the karma. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars. And this little piggy's breaking down. Wow, every week we'll recap and flow. Tune in for this little piggy show. From revenge porn to felony, it's a circus, can't you see? The toe is bent, the goal is spent. His empire crumbles, all hell sent. April's playlist on repeat. Aaron's lies we can't defeat. The countdown's on, it won't take long to see this piggy squeal his song. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars. And this little piggy's breaking down. Wow, every week we'll recap and flow. Tune in for this little piggy show. Oh, this little piggy ain't missing a thing. Just sit back, laugh, and watch the king.
Welcome to This Little Piggy, a weekly roundtable discussion about the Steel Toe Morning Show and its confirmed sperm-guzzling host, Aaron Imholt. I'm Carl from Who Are These Podcasts, coming to you from Detroit Rock City. With me today is Moody from This Little Piggy and Patrick Melton from Nobody Likes Our Name. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey.
What is happening? Wow, what a week. What a week. This might be my favorite week in the whole history of the Steel Toe saga.
That's saying a lot.
Well, it started with the epiphany. It started with a brand new Aaron who realizes this is all bullshit and he's better than this and he should focus on the good things in life and his children and Weird Al Yankovic. And then it went over to our buddy, Patrick Melton, taking a red eye out of Las Vegas to go to Minnesota and capture the sentencing.
I've been to hell and returned to tell you about it.
I am so excited about this. I know you have many tales to tell. We have a lot to discuss. But first, I saw you were sniping Chad Zumock.
Yes.
Earlier today. And holy shit. I don't watch that show very often. I watch it through Cardiff Show mostly. So I was watching on your channel when I was in the cab on the way over to this Airbnb. And Chad's thing where he's just like, it's me versus the world and I'm on top and I'm winning. And this is what winning looks like. And then he brings on Clearwater Chad. And he goes, this is proof that I don't even give a fuck. No, that's proof you're out of ideas.
Yeah,
that's what Ray DeVito was doing.
His whole thing with Clearwater Chad is literally like, what do you got going on this weekend? And then he moves right into like, what do you think about this guy? What do you think about this guy?
Yeah.
And by the way, he's asked these questions of him before. These are the same, like, what do you think about Carl? He's already asked him that.
What do you think about Anthony Cumia? He goes, he seems like a pretty cool guy. He's not. No, he's not. You're wrong.
Yeah,
why'd you ask him that? He's so I don't have an opinion.
It's not like Clearwater Chad's a polarizing figure who's going to come in and give you like a hard take. You kind of like, I don't really know the guy.
He also, so I was watching Chad a little bit. It was very funny because he also said, Melton is starved for content. He doesn't have anything. On the week that you have more content, you don't even have time to edit out the content that you have. There's so much.
I haven't watched hardly anything I've recorded. And I haven't even begun to put it together. So there's plenty of content, Chad. But I took his idea. Did you see this? He's accusing me. He's like, I was going to go to Minnesota. It's like, first of all, you weren't. You said it.
He also said that you stole his bit by talking to Coach Scott because he had called him before.
Right.
And then he claimed that you stole that from him, which I was glad that Kevin Brown's like,
stop calling Coach Scott. He doesn't care. I talked to him. He doesn't care. He knows it's not me. He tried to call Coach Scott on his show today. The first time he accidentally called Stoney's. And the second time he accidentally called Todd Peterson. He's just looking at area codes, I guess. And he's like, oh, I guess I don't have Scott's number. And then just gave up on the bit.
How do you fuck that up?
I think
Chad Zumock?
He'd be good as like a First Amendment auditor or like doing challenges like, can I stay in a Walmart for 24 hours? Like I would watch that content of Chad's.
You wouldn't, but I hear what you're saying.
I like just being like a little bit antisocial, but not breaking the law. I think that's his sweet spot, but he needs to leave the house to do that and like confront people. But
so my favorite part about Chad's show, again, I don't watch this. This is all new to me. I don't know what's going on over there. Is that he's got Clearwater Chad. He has no idea what to talk about. He's hitting his sounders. He's doing the thing. He puts up a $2 chat and then hits 5 sounders to show you how excited he is. And then someone tells him KB's sniping him. And he goes, "Oh, KB, send us the link. We'll go on your show." And then I had to tune out and do some other things. And I came back to it.
Kevin was sniping me, sniping him. He wasn't even watching. He wasn't even watching on Chad's channel.
That's even funnier. So then I come back and I click on, and the video's gone. Of course, Chad's taking it down. And I click over to MLC, and there's Clearwater Chad and Chad with Kevin Brunn, another guy who's completely out of ideas. And the conversation they were having was, how much money has Ray DeVito paid you to be on Ray DeVito's show? To Clearwater Chad.
Good.
And then it came down to like, well, it's an average of $9 per show. And so Kevin's going, well, maybe I should only pay you $9 per show. It's like, none of this is real money or interesting. I don't know why Kevin Brennan's getting caught up in this $55 from Ray DeVito. Like, Ray DeVito makes no money. He's poor. What do you want him to pay people?
Since that video of Chad's apartment leaked out yesterday, holy shit. Oof. Holy shit. It is rough.
Well, I will say I love Cardiff Show. I only saw that through Cardiff Show, which was unwatchable. He was pausing every frame, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at, man.
Wait till I get into it.
Okay,
have you heard? Do you know how they harvest cranberries?
Yes.
So yeah, they get like a huge field, and then they flood it, and the cranberries rise to the top, and then the farmers like go through and they can like pick through them and sort them out. What happens though is that there are spiders in that field. So like if you're walking through, and one of the spiders, huge spiders that live in these cranberry fields, spots you, they will climb to the highest thing that they can see. And so as you're walking through this like flooded cranberry field up to your waist, you've got all these spiders like rushing in and covering you. I feel like that's what happens when Kevin goes live. And like there's like a Chad or a Kiki or anyone else of these other people are online. They're like, oh, the highest thing around. Yeah, let's go to it.
Literally like a bunch of children, and somebody put out a trick or treat sign, and they all run over there. They're like, oh, somebody's giving out candy today.
Right. Kevin's the ice cream truck. He's playing the ice cream truck sound.
He's just covered in spiders. He's like, fuck, get off me. Like, what's happening here?
I didn't know where you were going with that, Moody. I'm glad we arrived somewhere. I had a feeling you would. You usually
I just wanted everyone to learn something along the way. We can have fun while we learn about new facts.
Now, as you guys know, we got an $800 tip from Steven yesterday, but that doesn't mean that we've hit the goal yet, guys. I know that Aaron says the goal has been hit through Tuesday. That's not the case on this little piggy. So I know it's on Carl's channel, but I think it's really important to go to supertip.gg/WATP so we can hit that goal, and you can participate in the show by doing such a thing.
It's funny. Some people were donating to me the other night while I was in Minnesota doing that show with Nick, saying this is for Friday because I'm not giving money to Carl.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, I want to thank a Trey Peacock fan. He said, should be an episode with a lot of views and good super chats, and it's on Carl's channel today. Suck it, Mike David. Yeah, if you want to stick it to Mike David,
yes,
super chat this show today. Hellraiser 6912 with $20. I'm no fan of Nick. With that being said, the cognitive dissonance of Johnny, Gino, and Kiki when it comes to Aaron is astounding to me. I mean, what exactly do they get for befriending him besides being jokes on the internet? This is a very interesting phenomenon that's started happening this week. When Aaron claimed, and I want to go back to that actually from last week, where Aaron was claiming that I didn't violate the conditions of my release. The plea deal is in place. We're going to go in. The judge is going to tell us what we already know. It's great. And all of that fell apart. And I'm starting to see the Kiwi Farms guys realize that Aaron's also a piece of shit. Like, yeah, you can hate Nick Rekieta and think that, yeah, like Nick Rekieta sucks and his enemies, we don't like them either, until you realize that one of his enemies is Aaron. You go, oh, wait a second. I don't want to be on that guy's side.
I don't think they didn't really care much that Aaron was a piece of shit before. They saw him more as a tool to beat Nick over the head with. And for about a good year he was. Because he just kept bringing out these anecdotes, and he obviously was very annoying to Nick when Nick couldn't talk. But now that Nick is out of that part and is serving his sentence, it's like Aaron isn't Aaron's losing if you want to go into this win and lose stuff.
Right.
And it's only going to get worse for him. And so by trying to prop Aaron up, it's just they can see where that's heading and he's going to start hemorrhaging.
Well, they're
all of these
independent
people.
things. The way I see it, and I said this on the show Wednesday night, but, you can not like Nick and you can be disgusted by Nick's actions and stuff. He has been through the legal system. He is paying for those crimes. He has had his entire family's business aired out publicly, stuff to do with his children, stuff to do with his personal life. And that's
you mean that co-core of a daughter he has? That what you're talking about?
Yeah. So it's fair to hate all that. This is independent of that. This exists independently of that. Kayla is a victim in this case.
Yeah.
Like Aaron did do something illegal to this woman who, by all intents and purposes, has faded from the internet and doesn't wish to be a part of it anymore. Just like April, Chad's got his new show with this theme song saying, April wants good dick. It's just like these people have decided to go away and should be allowed to go away.
It's been over a year.
So bringing your hatred of Nick into this case is just stupid. It's like Aaron is in the wrong. That's why he's being charged with a crime for this. This has nothing to do with you hating Nick. Or Nick's not involved technically.
I just think it's
supportive husband.
Now you're saying that because you're a rational human being, and Moody was saying the same thing. And yes, of course, both things exist and they don't overlap. But I think that this could be the week where we start to see the Sector and the Dabbleverse get along a little bit. Maybe there's some commonalities there where we could all be. Moody doesn't think so.
I don't know enough
He's not
about
buying
the
it.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I
enough
don't really
about
know
the
anything
sector.
about the sector either.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Oh,
Really
you
know.
will. You will. We're gonna get all caught up on that. Zoo Mimic, $5. I vote Melton gets all of my money raised since he did all the legwork for this episode.
Yes.
We'll negotiate that later, I think.
That sounds like a good plan. No negotiation needed. Thank you, Carl. I
Shit
accept.
show. My sincere condolences, you club-toothed jackass. Thank you. I appreciate that shit show. Buck Naked 639, $2. It's a cranberry mog, Moody, not a field bog.
I don't let myself get bogged down with the details. I'll just tell an anecdote. As
No pun
needed.
intended.
Yeah.
I like it.
Don't field Moody down with this.
At Hack Ride, my boy, Hack Ride Studios. My thoughts with Carl and his family. Thank you very much. My father passed away this past weekend, and
Oh my God.
we had a service for him yesterday.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry to hear that.
But also,
Yeah.
welcome to the Dead Dad Club.
Well, thank you. Yes, I feel welcomed, and I do appreciate that. And I've got a lot of lovely notes from people, and I thank you for that. Deep Surface coming in.
Here's $5 to keep the android off the show. I'm working at my part-time job right now as an AI voice. Hope they start a new Star Trek so I can play myself, i.e. as a soulless robot. Hashtag 0101010101001011.
I love that.
What?
I love that.
How did people start mentioning Kayla in binary and super chats to Aaron?
We should, or Morse code. Yeah, we should give that out for people. Detroit Dabbler coming in.
You've summoned me, Carl. Here's a little something for the effort.
Wait, what? How much did the Piggy monster pay you, Carl?
It's $6.38 if you want to write that down, KB. Make sure you have a record of that. All right, gentlemen, we have.
Before we continue, I just wanted to expound on
please.
something that you guys were just saying before about these people realizing like what Aaron is. And I think one of the like microcosms of this, and I know he's your friend, Carl, is I think Gino's a good case study here.
Yeah.
Where this guy is just going off, him and Kiki, who is like an echo in the back of the apartment, will like yell out that Aaron, of these four idiots, the four in the cover, all of them are idiots and they're all bad. But out of those four, Aaron is the only one that has changed and made meaningful steps in order to better his life and own up to what he's done. I completely disagree with that. I think from all those four, Aaron is the only one that stayed the same, and the other three are the ones that have made meaningful changes in their
April
life.
has definitely moved on.
Yep.
April's moved on. She left the relationship and is no longer talking to anyone that was previously involved in
Kayla
that.
has clearly moved on.
Kayla used to appear on camera. Now Nick got you to turn off the camera so that she could walk by and not appear in frame. She's completely disconnected from everything.
And Nick wants to kill everyone.
Nick has pled guilty and is undergoing
sentence?
testing for the next 5 years to positively ensure that he's not doing any sort of drugs.
And Moody, I think it goes
And
even
Aaron-
further. Oh, go ahead.
And Aaron is is going through a case about harassing a woman. That's what it comes down to. It's harassing Kayla. And he was warned multiple times. And under threat of jail, he still is incapable of stopping himself from carrying on that harassment to the point of his plea deal getting thrown out. Like he can't stop.
Both times this guy has had court orders to leave a woman alone because he couldn't do it on his own. He has violated that court order. Think about that. That's insane. You have a problem. You cannot stop yourself.
You could also go back to why he was fired from the radio. He was warned by HR. He was told not to talk. He couldn't stop himself. He has to harass women.
Fired from the radio. Then he did something amazing after that. And like, as much as we want to make fun of Aaron here, he did something very few people can do, which is build a living streaming on Twitch. He was making over $20,000 a month with a community around him that enjoyed his content. And the reason he lost that is because he couldn't stop utilizing that audience and any sort of fame he has to harass a woman, trans girl 45. Like it all comes, he's got this addiction. Like you want to talk about guns, drugs, and kids. This guy's an addict. Like he can't stop himself from weaponizing his audience and attacking women. That's what he does.
He's also an actual alcoholic, I believe. I believe that.
Right.
Like
I don't think that's true. But
when you're talking about Gino and Kiki real quick, I don't know what it is. I don't know what their problem is, but they're also like maliciously turning a blind eye to facts throughout everything in this. I watched a clip. It must have been a Doom clip or something, but of Gino and Kiki, and Gino has this thing he does where it's like Gino was right. And it's funny in the same way as another win for the toe, because whenever he's pounding his chest screaming Gino is right, 98% of the time he's still wrong. You know, this is he had the cases mixed up where he was screaming about Nick's case versus Aaron's case. He thinks they're related somehow. And I tweeted out after Aaron got locked up Wednesday, it was almost 3 p.m. And I said, Aaron will likely be spending the night in jail. This is based on conversations.
I saw this. Yeah.
This is based on conversations with people at the courthouse about how they stop accepting bonds for bail at a certain hour. And so my thought was he won't be able to get this going together quick enough to bond out tonight. I was incorrect. He did bond out, but I never said Aaron will be spending the night in jail. I said Aaron will bond out tonight. Now Cheetos is on the Toe group screaming Melton said he'd be spending the weekend in jail. I don't know how that would happen on a Wednesday. And Gino got in front of the camera, came right up the camera like, you fucking idiot, Melton. You said he'd be. I said likely. And again, I'm on the ground talking to people at the courthouse, so I know more than you. And I'm just telling you, likely.
It might be a different video when he first found out about it. When he was first told, I think Keanu was doing a show. I don't know who's doing a show, but he focused it on the word likely as if that was like a gotcha moment, as if he was the prosecutor, the cross examination. He's just like, oh, likely, huh? Likely. You're just like, well, yeah, that's what I was told. It's likely, like you just said. He did get put into jail, and it's likely he'll be here overnight because you need mechanisms in place to get released. Fortunately for him, it wasn't too late in the day. He was able to do that. But it's just like, why are you focusing on the word likely? It's neither here nor there.
There also seems to be a misunderstanding. I was reading on Reddit. People think that Aaron had a $50,000 conditional bond. He got a bond for that, or $50,000 conditional bail, and he got a bond for that. It's what most people do. They don't want to pay the $50,000 out of pocket. If they don't have $50,000, they can tie up. And if they attend court once the sentencing's over, they get the $50,000 back. That's how bail works.
Right.
If you don't have the $50,000, you pay 10% of that for a bond from a bail bond agency. And so Aaron paid $5,000. He doesn't get that back. People seem to be confused about whether or not he's getting this money back. He does not get it back. That is a fee to borrow $50,000 from a bail bondsman to let the court hold until you show up to court for your sentencing. So to be clear, it's not just a $5,000 temporary thing. That money's gone. And from what Nick also said, he'll have to pay Todd Peterson more now because this has been kicked down the road. He was supposed to be done today, and Todd will have to be rehired again, basically, for the same case. So
I would change attorneys if I were him, but yeah, I hear what you're saying.
In all likelihood, he'll get a discount because this attorney is so familiar with the case and has already done a lot of the legwork. So Wednesday could have been a $10,000 day for Aaron. That's rough.
What happens to that? To the bail amount, like if he ends up violating those conditions after paying the $5,000 for that $50,000, does he then owe the bail bond company $45,000, or do they take
no? They get their $50,000 back. So basically, they're just earning $5,000 to loan.
Right.
If he violates his conditions and those $50,000, so sort of if you violate conditions after you've paid that $50,000, the court keeps it, don't they? The cops keep it?
No, the bond is
just to make sure you come back to court.
Bail is to make sure you come back. It's a recall mechanism for the court.
Okay.
So just like in this case, he had bailed out previously. He had gotten a bond for his lesser bail, and they locked him up again and said, we're raising the bail and you need to pay an additional bail now. So I think Aaron's paid $10,000 in bail. Possibly. I don't even know. I don't remember what his previous one was. I guess a little less. Maybe it was 25,000. So it'd be 2,500. So he's now up to $8,000 in attorney fees with this additional amount he'll have to pay if he needs to rehire, and another 5,000. So 70. So he's sitting at $16,000 out for this case, which is insane.
I think
a W for Ricada.
I know there's people out there like making bets and wondering if this counts as Aaron going to jail. I don't think it does. He went to jail, but he's not sentenced to jail, right?
Like it's case. So all bets are out on what his punishment for disseminating those images are. That sentencing happened September 2nd. So if you thought Aaron would go to jail October 2nd. So if you have a bet going of whether or not Aaron goes to jail for disseminating private images, that is yet to be determined. However, what I can tell you is I have a very strong wink feeling that the judge will not accept a plea now that does not include some sort of jail time for Aaron. I don't know why I think that.
Interesting.
But I'd bet money on it.
Okay.
He's so lucky that Christmas is not on a weekend this year, because
he might be spending weekends somewhere.
I think he'd opt for weekends. Don't you think so?
Of course. He needs to make money. He needs to beg for the goal.
They might not offer that. The judge might be because of the nature of the case and Aaron's entire history with getting in trouble with the law and his career has been online doing his show. The judge might say, you need to spend 30 days in here not doing a show. The weekend jail time is going to give Aaron content. He'll be locked up Friday through Sunday.
Oh, talk about the book that he read the first 30 pages of?
Yeah, of course.
I guess
it was a great book, and then I put it down and never picked it up again.
You but you also need to look at like the impact of jailing someone like Aaron for 3 months nonstop, because he's got child support payments he needs to make, and this is his only income stream. And by taking him offline this is a better defense. I'm doing better defending him than Todd Peterson.
At some point, the court doesn't give a fuck. At some point, the court doesn't, like, oh, you murdered somebody, but you have a mortgage to pay. Like, you're still going to jail. You know what I mean? Like,
but like going to jail for him and locking him up for 3 months is a little bit different than someone else who has a job, like a 9 to 5, right? Because for him, that his money is reliant on that, and the punishment that he'll get for that is lower subscribers, lower viewers, and the income coming in is lower. So realistically, like de facto, what'll happen is the judge, like if he goes to jail for 3 months, that is a harsher penalty for him than someone else who just clocks in at work.
I hope for our sake that if he does get jail time, he does serve weekends, because it'd be funny to see him showing up on camera with bruises on his face, or maybe he'll be constantly a little.
He does that anyway, but yeah.
The thing is, 90 days on weekends is almost a year. Like, he will lose weekends for a year. The members only shows move to Thursdays permanently.
Yes. For sure.
minutes. He did 23 minutes.
And actually, I should tease. You know, he the reason why he does Thursdays now is because he doesn't go to the gym like he used to on Thursdays.
Right.
And we're gonna get some info. Patrick is bringing exclusive video on the show today that we'll be playing later on. But I just want to circle back. The way we started this conversation was that you have these 4 people, and Aaron claims to be the one good person. He claims it over and over and over again. I'm the guy who got out of there. I was the guy who realized we were doing the wrong thing, and I wanted to make it right. But if you go back now and you look at what actually happened, April left him. He was pushed out, and he claims the only reason why he confessed to it was because he was blackmailed. He said himself, and I know Moody disagrees with me, he said himself, he was told it'd be a real shame if someone were to talk to Ashley about the sex and drugs and bringing the children around.
It's an extreme contradiction because on the one case, he's like, I absolved myself. I came clean. I put myself out in the town square and admitted what I did.
Yep.
And then the next minute he tells everybody I was blackmailed. I had to come out and do it.
Yeah. It's the opposite of what we've been told for the last year. It's the opposite.
It's in his, like, I don't think Nick would have ever gone out and said, hey, I was involved in swinging too. Like that's, it was mutually assured destruction is what it was.
Yeah. So you don't believe the blackmail thing. It's probably not true. He would have brought it up sooner. And the way he brought it up was odd.
I think it wasn't really blackmail, because blackmail, there's like a imbalance in the power structures. The person blackmailing you can't be hurt by you in the same way that they hurt you. Whereas with this sort of Nick versus Aaron thing, they can both hurt each other in very similar ways. And so he was just being reminded, look, it's in both our interests that you don't talk and I don't talk. So let's just not talk. And Aaron goes, that's blackmail, nuke button. Like that's.
Yeah. You know what, Moody? You're probably right. It's likely that you're correct. How do you feel about that? Are we good now?
Clip that and just play it as a drop.
I don't believe he was blackmailed, but again,
I don't think so either.
What he's saying, saying that
right.
I chose to come out and let everybody know my crimes, and then the next minute saying I had to come out and say it because they were going to do it. It's like it's victim and oppressor at all times. It's he wants to be on both sides of every coin.
But it also comes back to, let's never forget that Aaron could have confessed to certain things. He didn't have to go all the way. He didn't have to say everything that they were up to. He could have been a lot more vague about this, and people wouldn't have gotten in so much trouble, and people still could have cleaned up their act. And so Aaron now is trying to pretend like, well, no, I had to do that. I had to go on Keno Casino and talk about the first time Kayla sat in my lap without her pants on.
Because the day they got arrested, he went live and made $2,000 and had over 1,000 live viewers. And he thought in his head for that moment, much the same way Chad did that first night he was on Super Tips and we were sending everybody over there and he made over $1,000. He thought, this is it. This is the bump. Yep.
I've ascended. I've ascended, guys.
I'm gonna you're gonna have so many viewers. People get bored of you very quickly, and they don't.
And by the way, Minnesota Melton, that happened again yesterday. Aaron comes on his show after the court date. I can't talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it ever again. And boom, big donations. So I think Aaron's feeling all of his feels like, oh, I'm just doing a show again. People are just going to throw money at me.
$800 is a strange amount to be given.
You're not buying it?
I don't know, but why 800? Why not just pop it at 1,000?
Well, he'd already given 200 earlier in the week. Steven had, so the 800 got him to 1,000. I think that's the math.
Right. He's like, I can't play this Steven instrument too much. They'll get on to me.
All right. Well, I want to back up because now that we know what happened at the sentencing, where the plea deal was thrown out by the judge had a lot of words for Aaron. I mean, you talked about it with Nick Rekieta, and it was the same night, right? Yeah, you and Nick got together and did a show on your channel and talked about it. Hopefully people are up to speed on that. I was watching Pretty Antisocial go through this, I think yesterday. And this video by Doom is perfect because this aged so poorly. This is last week on the 18th. This is what he was saying.
Send us this clip, penis wrinkle.
A lot of people fired up. What happened? Something happened? Sorry, was I supposed to come to you like that? I don't know. Oh, just honestly, I'll address it real quick and then we'll do the show tonight. just more stupid lawfare horse shit. That's all it is. I mean, I'm used to it. It's been happening for almost a year now. Just people cutting stuff together, putting it together, spinning it. It's like, have I ever violated my conditions of release? No.
That right there. That will live in infamy. That is so funny that he came out and said that specifically when we saw that those violations were being transmitted to the court. Like that came out.
If you do a search on Aaron Imholt's record now, computer says yes. Computer says yes.
It's very rare you get these like insights into his life where there's like a verifiable contradiction to what he's saying. We can have like inklings into this probably didn't happen or something like this, but this is like a judge under rule of law. This is wrong. He's incorrect here.
I think if I hadn't have gone, there would have been some people there in the court. I think because I did go, there were more. There were just a lot of NLO fans that came out. And like I said, I think there were 15 or 16 people in that gallery. I think there probably would have been 3 or 4. And it was something I wanted to see for myself because we've heard from this guy over and over again how the judge is buddy with him.
He high fives the prosecutor when he comes in.
I can't make it known enough how disgusted both the prosecutor and the judge are with him. They are not on side. They are not friends. They both are really put off by this egregious, constant violation and not taking this seriously. And boy, I mean, she said, like, I get stuff every day about this guy. And
so how does this happen? This is what I want to know. And Moody, you might have some insights into this. So Aaron comes on his show a week before this was going to happen. And he says, no, there's I didn't violate that conditions of release. There's no problems. Everything's still in play. We still got the plea deal. His attorney must have told him that. He talks about how I've talked to Todd. We're good. Is his attorney just asleep at the wheel? Is he too busy? I saw he had a lot of court cases that day. Is he bogged down and not paying attention? Is he an idiot? What's going on?
Before you get into that, Moody, I will just answer yes, because what I heard from Nick, and Nick was privy to the conversations that happened behind closed doors when the prosecutor and Todd and the judge went into chambers. And like I said, they were in there for 20 minutes before anything happened. The prosecutor came to Nick and told Nick that Todd went in that room and did the same thing, tried the same thing Aaron tried spewing on his show, which is an insane thing for a lawyer to do, to say these violations don't matter because the violations are up today, or the conditions of release are up today. That's so insane. He violated. And also I sent an email that said, don't watch the violations if you're offended by them. Which is not. So
it's nuts.
We've seen such incompetence from this guy. And the fact that he thought he could go into chambers and pull that same excuse Aaron had, that the conditions of release don't matter because they're over now, is insane. And I think
so. Moody, what's your take? Incompetent lawyer, or lazy, or busy and overwhelmed?
All of the above.
I've got friends that are lawyers, and they tell me about and New Zealand's a little bit different here, but there are these lower courts that we've got here where you don't need to be a lawyer in order to represent someone. You can have advocates come in. So these are people that are this is sort of like a backdoor that's made for the unions that allows union representatives to not have law degrees in order to go represent people. Anyway, but what that's caused is sort of like a backdoor into these legal systems where you have advocates or people who think they can represent other people offer those as services, as well as disbarred lawyers who can't go to like the bigger courts now go and become advocates. And what these people do, these are usually the biggest sharks. There's some good ones, don't get me wrong, but it also attracts a certain archetype of person who isn't interested in really doing a good job as a lawyer. What they're interested in is bringing across the feeling that they're being a good representative.
So
what they'll do is they'll go to court and they will be aggressive, or they'll write aggressive letters on behalf of their client. My client's innocent. I hold you in contempt, like that sort of stuff.
Ironically, it's the thing that Aaron said doesn't exist, but
right.
these lawyers, it does. Like, again, that letter from Todd Peterson was kind of that, like, if you don't like what my client's doing, turn it off. It's like, yeah, don't say that.
That letter was not written for the judge. It was written for Aaron.
Right.
So Aaron reading that letter will be like, even my lawyer agrees with me.
You'll
This
feel
is
good.
fantastic.
Yeah, and he's
This
fighting
is
for me. Yeah,
fantastic.
he's aggressive. Right.
Yeah. I get it. It's not, there's a correction here. It's just in the employment courts. It's not in all courts in New Zealand. All right, whatever. But what's happening here is, so he's like, this feels so good. Like, my lawyer sees things the same way that I do. Here is someone that really gets it. What's happening behind the scenes is this guy is not doing a good job as a legal representative. So he's not doing legal research to say that here's what happened in this case that's similar, and here's what happened in this case. So, judge, you should be ruling in this way that is favorable to my client.
Right.
Like, that is good lawyering. He's just doing emotional arguments that feel good. And
He's the CEO of Steel Toe
Right.
Inc. I mean, how bad of a person can he be?
The pet
the
owner.
clients will never know that they're not being represented really well because it feels good to have their inner feelings be externalized by someone. And
Right.
then at the end, when they probably lose that case, they won't blame their advocate for that. They won't say, this guy did a poor job representing me. They'll say, the system is broken. I had the best representative ever, but the system is rigged against people like me. And that's what you're paying
white
for.
guys in the middle class. Yeah, the system hates them. I know.
Yeah.
It's in a way, it shows not only is Aaron just, look, Aaron's stupid. All of us knew this was something. And now again, I said, I don't know if it's going to have any teeth to it. I don't know if he's going to end up getting punished for this, but they filed it. It's real. These things exist. Everyone and their mother knows a plea agreement isn't final until the judge stamps it on the day. Everyone knew this except Aaron. Everyone knew this.
Yep.
So you have a legal representative.
He thought the judge would have no choice. He's like, I'm sorry, but this is the date. It's over.
Right. And because of that, he's fucked himself by
They
saying,
should have arrested me last week. They had their chance and they didn't do it, so I'm good.
because he was so cocksure about it. He after it was all signed, he ran out and told everybody that I did do it. I was being malicious. I bullied her, and all that can now be. There's 3 months now for this prosecutor to reorganize and renegotiate a new plea deal. And we all knew how this worked, except Aaron. And to go to what Moody said. So you have a representative in Todd Peterson who did not only a disservice to his client by writing a letter like that to the judge, which is not going to make her happy. He wasn't being honest with his client about realistic expectations of this case. You got a guy up for murder and telling him he's not going to go to jail is insane to do. You should set realistic expectations and a tone of how serious something is for your client. And Aaron walked in there. He must have felt like he was ambushed. He must have been like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Can I just say what I love about this week, and I want to play the Johnny Crutches clip in a little bit, where he was being told that his buddy Aaron was in jail and he couldn't believe it, and he told everyone they were liars and they don't know what they're talking about. This is the week that Aaron's entire fantasy world was exposed. And we've been exposing it forever, but Aaron still had that shell around him and that force field to make sure that no, my delusions are reality and no one else, and Johnny agrees with me, and so does Keanu, and so does Gino, and my delusions are real. This is the week when that all falls apart, and we haven't even gotten to the Coach Scott stuff yet.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to make it very clear. Every single place I went in St. Cloud, I made a point to ask people, do you know who Steel Toe is? Do you know who Aaron M. Holt is? Aaron told this story about the last time he went to jail, how all the officers and all the corrections officers and the jail people knew who he was and were Steel Toe fans. And we've heard this a million times forever. I go play golf and there's Steel Toe guys there. He told this story about his golfing buddy Nick, how he met him. He was on a fairway, and a fairway over on an adjacent hole, somebody yelled over,
holy shit, Steel Toe!
Right. No one, and I mean no one, with the exception of the places he goes, and again, of course, Coach Scott and Cheetos know who he is. I'm talking about the golf club that I went and talked to. I'm talking about all these people are just like, we have no fucking clue who this guy is.
It's amazing.
And by the way, I have it on video. I have receipts for all this. But I asked every single officer I came across in that court, and they were coming and going. I'm the guy who I had to put my phone in a dish to walk to a metal detector. Everyone. I was like, you got a big celebrity case today. You guys know about Aaron M. Holt, Steel Toe Morning Show? They were all like, who? We don't know what you're talking about.
But I love this, Patrick, because this is the proof. Like, Aaron goes on a show, he makes all these claims, never plays a clip. just says we're seething, just says we're losers, our views are down, our shows are falling apart, says all this shit that's complete horseshit, and won't have us on. We've said, Aaron, let me on your show. I'll come on. We'll debate this. We can talk about this. Won't have us on. Won't let reality seep into his own programming. And now, like, that came crumbling down this weekend. It's going to get a lot worse for Aaron once you expose all this
He's
stuff.
already rebuilding it. It's not, yeah.
The officers in the court, you know, because there were 10 people there waiting outside the courtroom, and I imagine that's very unusual for Stearns County, Minnesota.
Sure.
And the officers would like stop and be like, "What's going on?" Everyone had their phones out, everyone's filming, and I
There's
would
the guy with the foam finger number 1. You're like, are you in the right place? You're like, oh yeah.
Oh, you must not have checked the docket. Big celebrity case today. Aaron Emholt, Yalto Morning Show. They all just went, "Who?"
Huh?
And walked
What?
away. I went to the gas station and pumped gas for my rental car. I asked. I mean it, Carl. I asked everyone, "Have you heard of this guy?" No.
Number 1 morning show in the market. You would think, if I went around Rochester and asked about Brother Weeze, I think 50% of the people, if not 70%, would be like, yeah, I know Brother Weeze is.
We were waiting for Aaron to get off the elevator. This is before his lawyer went down to sneak him up the back way. And like other people would get off the elevator for their hearings, and they'd be taken aback that there were 9 people there holding cell phone cameras filming, and I was we wasted the good surprise on you, like Big Daddy, and but they would be like, "What are you guys all here filming for?" And I was like, "Oh, Aaron Emholt." Like these guys, by the way, are waiting to have a bad day themselves. They're waiting in their hearing for their court, and we start telling them about Aaron, and they're laughing and stuff. No one knows who this guy is. Nobody in this town knows who he is.
All right, let's get caught up because there is a goal on this show, as everybody knows. It's a very important element of the show where we beg for the goal, we plead for the goal, and if we don't get the goal, we are very upset and we start looking at help wanted ads. And we start writing out our resume and sending in applications to retail stores around the neighborhood. So let's get on it with Coach Plague. Montegraph, the guy that made Aaron's theme song, is known for doing nude child photo shoots with parental consent. Yet Melton is the PDF file. I don't know anything about that. Do you guys?
I know that Nick described a pedophile, and they have a lawsuit going on, I guess.
Yeah, but also, like, you can describe a lot of things in weird ways. I don't know anything about this guy, but I know people get pictures of their babies taken sometimes, and that would technically be described this way.
If anyone looks at the Nirvana cover for Nevermind, right, you would think that Kurt Cobain would be thrown in jail the next day.
Right.
This used to be so crazy. Right?
You're looking at you've gone and purchased artwork with depicting a real photograph of a baby's, like that's... You can make anything sound bad.
There was some of that. I don't know if you watched that Pee Wee Herman documentary.
Yes. I was actually just about to bring that up. Yeah.
He got, I guess, they raided his house and took all these photos and stuff for him, which were supposed to be like illicit.
It was gay erotica from like the 50s and 60s. He collected it.
Right. And it was clearly it's not like the guy had it like out using it. If you know
it wasn't on eBay. He wasn't like trying to make a profit from it. He was a collector of this stuff.
But as we've gotten closer to this like Kiwi Farms orbit of people, like the pedophile accusations have been constant and nonstop and thrown out at literally everyone around there. So
everyone's either a Nazi or a PDF file. That's what I've learned from the internet.
What they've done is made it impossible to actually know when there are credible accusations. Correct. So I've become blind to like I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't imagine the people who think about this stuff every day. Like there are people who like constantly tweet at me about it online, and it's like, why are you thinking about this so much? It's disturbing on a level.
Chris Engler says, "Sorry to hear about your father, Carl. Rest in peace, Mr. Hamburger." Well, thank you very much for that. He had a very fantastic life and lived it to the fullest all the way up to the end, and it was a great example for me. Anonymous, thank you for letting us rewind. Of course, always on this channel until I learn how to do what Melton does. Sugary Coyote coming in.
Cranberries are a group of evergreen dwarf shrubs or trailing vines in the subgenus Oxycoccus of the genus Vaccinium. Also, Aaron is a piece of shit.
Thank you.
We're learning.
Aaron referred to Dr. Steve as a piece of shit.
I don't know if he caught this. I didn't see that. What?
Yeah. He goes, even that piece of shit, Dr. Steve. I'm like, there is no one you can find that could say a bad word.
I mean, the only person who's ever tried that was Stuttering John, and it backfired on him. That's a bad move right there.
It is a wild thing to be calling Dr. Steve that everyone agrees he's.
Everyone loves Dr. Steve, except for his family.
Dr. Steve is advocating for Chad Zumach to me constantly.
Yeah, I
Dr.
know.
Steve believes in people.
He wants to connect everybody. I know. Ghost Crusaders TV coming in.
Oh my God. Qual no half dad re-rike me. So sorry, I rink air on frish. He no half dad re-rike us. He no rike his framery. Okay, bry. No, but seriously, sorry about your pops, Carl.
Oh, he broke character at the end there. Well, thank you, Asian Rob Saul. It's very sweet of you.
Death surrounds me. R.I.P. Johnny, R.I.P. Carl's dad, and R.I.P. my radio career.
Oh, the Johnny thing.
That's the trifecta right there.
You got to talk about the Johnny video too.
I know. I definitely have that queued up. It's hilarious. Ching Chang Homo Boy coming.
Chim cham to cine.
Good point.
Joseph Hamas says, my dream ending is Aaron ends up in jail because a recording comes out of Gino making Kayla jokes on stage at the Toe anniversary show. Oh, I should. I'll talk to Gino. That's a really good idea. Look at him, big pop in the room. I guarantee it.
He can't be friends with Gino and Keanu without going to jail. Like this is a friendship that is more harmful to him than having these two people as enemies. When
I saw Gino, this is before the sentencing, and Gino's on his show going, "Oh, is that what Kayla looks like with clothes on? I've never seen that before." Right. I always say, "I'm like, what kind of front are you being right now, Gino? Do you realize this guy's in a lot of trouble? It's a felony."
He was super chatting me and Nick the other night constantly that he jerks off to Kayla's picture still to this day.
Fucking idiot.
Aside from the point of what the damage this could do to Aaron eventually, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Bragging about jerking off to another woman? You're married.
But also
weird.
But also that shows you how Aaron doesn't take any of this seriously at all. If him and his buddies are like joking about this and laughing, and Gino's gotten comfortable to the point where he's just like, yeah, this is how I talk with Aaron. I'll just do it on the show. It's like, that's why
you can't have that person as a buddy if you want to stay out of jail. They're more helpful to his case they're more harmful to his case as his friends than his enemies. It would be better for his case if Gino and Keanu hated Aaron. But by trying to be friends to him, they're going to continue to taunt Nick, and they'll bring up all sorts of like your whore wife, like all of that stuff, which will just make things worse. And as that person just submitted before, anyone mentioning Kayla or Nick around Gino at the anniversary show will send Gino on a tirade. Yep. Anyone filming that will mean Aaron goes to jail.
I don't know. The Gino I know has a lot of self-control. I don't know what you're talking
about. Aqualung, $20. Thank you, Aqualung. Moody, we got to get through these tips, man. I don't know if you've ever been on a show before, but you can't keep filibustering.
Sorry, I'm focused on content here, Carl, but all right, do your tips.
Money before funny, Moody. You know the rules around here. Aqualung, $20. To best understand the American bail system, I recommend Moody watch Midnight Run with Robert De Niro or Jackie Brown, also with Robert De Niro. Midnight Run's a fantastic movie.
All right. Thanks, Aqualung.
Silence Do Good coming in. I like when people recommend movies to learn stuff. It's like, well, this is just like scripted in Hollywood, but sure, okay. Silence Do Good says, you guys think it was Patrick going to Minnesota and Aaron knowing he couldn't lie, or family putting fear in him camping that led to the Epiphany lying arc, or other theories? Oh, also, Patrick rules. Yes, Patrick crushed it this week.
It was the family. The Epiphany stuff came out on his 23-minute member show on Sunday, and I didn't go live and raise money to go to Minnesota until Sunday night.
Right.
I don't even know if Monday morning he knew or believed I was going to Minnesota. I hadn't purchased a ticket quite yet. So something happened on that camping trip for sure, and I think it was Ashley and his family sitting him down and going, "What are you doing? You've got to stop."
My guess is, and I don't, Patrick, did they mention anything about the pre-sentencing investigation? Because I think they would have gotten a copy of that, and that wouldn't have been great for Aaron, and that's when he would have started freaking out.
No, this entire hearing was not even about the crime. It was just about the violations of the conditions of release. There was no hearing about the actual crime itself at all. That's what's been kicked down the road. That's why Kayla didn't get to read her victim impact statement. Mm-hmm. Aaron didn't get to read his speech.
God, I would spend thousands of dollars to see what Aaron wrote down for his speech.
I have a feeling you're going to get it for a couple hundred. I have a feeling there's no way he can tear this up. There's no way he can He'll read this on his show at some
Because
point.
you know it says like "fuck you." You know he's like calling out Nick and Kayla for putting him through this, and what was he calling it? Lawfare, which is not what this is at all. He's completely wrong about that. It must have been amazing.
I won't start now, but like I'll be talking for like 2 to 3 minutes about this at a later point. So
Okay,
carry on with
Cash
it.
$10. Carl, sorry for your loss. Thank you very much, Cash. I appreciate that.
Who care? I talked about Kayla and her cans. Here, I'll send you a pic, Moody. You're not did good. Allah Alber. In the shoelies. Cunt fuck shit knicker.
All right, KFT, calm it down a little bit.
That was more coherent than anything Goldfolds has ever written.
The Justin Toledo coming in.
If I show up to Minnesota now, the DA can perfect service on me there. No long arm statute issues. If Aaron withdraws his plea, I can't show my face at this golf outing. Your move, Toe.
Will they even be at the golf outing? Will they even be at the anniversary?
They've bought tickets. They've got tickets. They're transiting
Still a little ways
through,
out. Still a little
they're
ways
transiting
out.
through Vegas.
I can tell you this. Aaron has told this golf club that they are going to have 50 golfers.
Yep.
That is what Aaron has told this golf club.
Okay. We'll see. That's interesting. KFT coming in again.
Who cares about Aaron? Talk about me, Fatty Patty. I went to your house weds, but like the coward you are, you were not home again. Why do you keep ducking me? Can you spot me a hundo? Stoney sucks.
Poor Stuttering John. He's the one who's lost in the fold and all this drama.
Missing me.
Yep. Billy Vegas coming in.
Todd is a DUI minor crime lawyer that makes backroom deals. He got me off a solicitation charge when I picked up that lot lizard.
Scott would know, former attorney. He's probably the one who recommended Todd to Aaron.
I don't think so.
No, I know. Pretty Antisocial is here. We love the ladies of Pretty Antisocial. So sorry for your loss, Carl. Sending you and your family love. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Gonzo, R.I.P. Papa Hamburger, and Ski Mask. Yeah, it's been a rough week for the Dabbleverse. Thank you, Gonzo Shitcock.
Day 858. Toe observation log. The small one successfully tracked and predicted the toe with a 93.5% accuracy rating. Soon he'll be ready. I hope.
My predictions have almost all come true. I've been.
Oh, here we go. You're turning into fucking Steel Toe. I'm always right 100% of the time. Tell me when I'm lying. Yep. All right.
It's
Also,
closer to 80, but that's a good rate. I'm proud of that rate.
Also, Moody's short. He's not small.
Dang Lizard says, how long will Aaron's newfound silence last? Well, it better last for the rest of his life, or else he's going to have some problems.
It's already stopped.
And Dang Lizard, thank you for fucking with Opie, because that led to an amazing segment that we have out on our channel right now, where Dang Lizard argued with Opie and Opie lost his mind. 7Dub7 coming in with, it looks like $20. It's amazing. So sorry to hear the news, Carl. Time will help with the pain, and I hope you can find solace in humorous things such as Chad, his carpet, his inability to pronounce almost every word, his general lack of self-awareness, etc. Yes, I was watching that in the cab ride on the way to my Airbnb today, and it was cheering me up. So thank you very much, 7Dub7.
I should have just been content with slurping Nick's cum out of April's gash and not been such a bitch about it.
Do it.
While swallowing semen is generally considered safe, it is important to be aware of potential side effects such as upset stomach, allergic reactions, and sexually transmitted diseases.
All right, Buzzkill Jones. Let's get out of here with don't slurp semen stuff. Let's not send the wrong message.
The main reason we scrapped the semen eating contest in Hackamania.
We got to do that next year. Mark David, $5. Carol, my sincere condolences on your father, but do you think SJ will crawl from under his rock to try to grift about his passing? I don't think he will. He got beat up pretty bad when he made fun of my dad having cancer, which, by the way, my father beat twice. Third time got him, unfortunately. B. Smiley the third, my condolences for your loss, Carl. Also, Gino Cano do far more to bury Aaron than all of us have. LOL. And it'd be great if, like, this was a heel turn move and they ripped off their shirts and they're wearing NLO shirts or something, but I don't think that's what's happening here. Bacon Bits gave us $5. Thank you very much, Bacon Bits 25. Girls Crusaders TV's coming back in.
Wait a second. What if the prosecutor and the judge think that this is really me? Like this voice right now is actually Aaron on this stream. Kayla, she's got great tits.
I think anyone reasonable will see genuine.
Who knows? Who knows? Keep trying. Keep trying that, guys. Never stop. Until next week. Tumble Dry coming in.
What happened to the case of baby oil I arranged to be delivered to the defense table? Meow.
And Mason in Portland, aka Portland Shane Gillis, coming in. Sorry for your loss, dude. I lost a parent last year. It sucks. Go Mariners. It's never a fun thing. It's never an easy thing. And I've gotten a lot of notes like that. Thank you very much, Mason in Portland. We missed you at Hackamania this year. We saw him in year 1, but fortunately couldn't make it this time. Prince Grazzi. Sorry for your loss, Carl. We'll never forget meeting your parents at the beer park several years ago. You are forgiven for stealing my car. Oh, this is the guy who came to the DabbleCon where the ISOs played the night before. People came down to that. And then there were some issues in the parking lot at Comedy at the Carlson.
Look, they left most of that taillight.
Yeah, that's not normally the case, by the way, just so you know. Coach Aaron's Cummy Lips coming in.
Guys, let's do it for Carl's dad. 25 grand away from today's goal.
Yeah, I don't owe as much money as Aaron does, fortunately. But we are working towards the goal, and I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone coming in, like Internet Person 9121. Sorry for your loss, Carl. I wanted to say something funny after this, and not to be a downer, but I can't think of anything. Aaron Eats Cum? It's pretty good.
You two did something today where they've switched off like pretty usernames, and now you see people's actual username.
You're right.
So you're going to get a lot of this Internet Person 9121 now.
You're right. Abakubus says, send Moobs Kayla in her hex codes, not binary cheaper. Anyone?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. Say attacking woman one more time,
You're
Moody.
doing 2. Like for every 4 becomes 1 letter. Yeah.
Get A through F.
Yeah. Sorry for your loss, Carl. Hashtag RIP Daddy K. Hashtag where's Adam? In a bush? Not invited. The greater good. Much respect to the man, Mr. K, for keeping his chin up during a tough time. Shows a lot of character. Condolences to Carl and family. Well, thank you, the greater good. I appreciate that. Damn, Carl, I'm sorry, man. I usually don't super chat, but my sincere condolences. Well, thank you very much, Gary Babcock. It's very nice of you, and you guys are being very sweet to me today, which I'm not used to.
Carl's dad heard that the Melton people aren't donating to Carl's turn on this little piggy, and he's like, I gotta do something.
I'm the one who told him.
to help out.
When you have a good relationship with your parents and they pass away, and my father died of cancer too, Carl, so I kind of understand this, and he died when I was 25, but when you have a good relationship with your parents, although it's sad and stuff, if they were suffering, you kind of understand that it's kind of better for them. My dad went from diagnosis to death in 3 months, but the toll it was taking on him was not good for his quality of life, and I understood that. And when you don't have a good relationship with your parents and they die, something like Mother's Day comes around and you write a letter calling her a whore.
Right. Right. It's very different. My dad said something very profound. I don't know if it's been said before. It probably has. But he said, nobody wants to die healthy. So,
right.
Yeah.
I guess
he got very sick, and it was time, unfortunately. Everything Melton said has been true, says Soft Weekly. Is that true?
I doubt that.
I doubt everything that Soft Weekly says is true. Cheslip passed away long ago, R.I.P. Carl said. There you go. That's how to do that. The ghost of Mr. P. Carl, come get this box. It smells and is leaking.
I don't want to know.
Soft Weekly, they can give him work release. He can go home, do his show, and go back to jail. Oh, like the Jeffrey Epstein thing.
That's like being in prison the whole time.
Yeah. He gets out of prison to beg for the goal.
Yeah, we know all his show does is cause him stress.
But also, like, that's releasing him to go on the one place where he harasses victims. Like, it's the riskiest place to release him from jail.
It is a problem.
To do.
And just to be smiley in the chat, I wasn't wrong about him spending the night in jail. I said likely. That leaves an option for him not. I wasn't incorrect. I didn't say he will definitely spend the night in jail.
But also, that's what you were told. You were told by people who know how this works.
Yeah,
Right.
it would have never occurred to me that at 3 p.m. he couldn't bond out. But I guess they do something there at a certain hour early in the afternoon where they stop accepting bond. So I didn't know.
South Weekly, Andrew Downs is 1 month's child support payment. I know he was so excited about it, but in the grand scheme of things, we've learned how much money he's paid just in bonding himself out. It's not going to put much of a dent in it. Carl's Frosted Tips says, Carl, sorry for your loss. Thank you, Carl's Frosted Tips. One hot sandwich. I'm glad your father confronted Biff before departing. That wasn't my father. Taking it back to the future. Did Vito text you RIP dad? No, Vito has not texted me.
Consider yourself lucky.
Yeah, that's
it's fine. It's fine. Shab getting sued. Papa-verse getting interesting. Oh, yes. I'm going to cover this on WATP tomorrow, by the way. I'm in Detroit, and I'm going over to Drew Lane Studios. Producer Chris is with me, and we're going to do WATP from there, and I am definitely going to be covering what's going on with Brendan Schaub.
He falsely pretended he owned a part of a cannabis company and then tried to sell it. And then the company was like, not so fast.
Dude, and you thought he was just a boob on the internet that we could just like point and laugh at? Like, oh, that guy thinks he's funny, or like a Showtime special. But it turns out his entire life is laughable disaster. Great.
Like Aaron.
Yes, like Aaron, except for way more famous and has way more money. Granny loves anal. Carl deserves the face and boils and the hunch. The isotopes, is it? No, that's all for Melton. Friend of the show, saving news of your dad's demise for Super Chats. Wow. I talked about it on Tuesday. I did a Boston recap. I brought it up on Tuesday. Mike brought it up last night on WATS because I wasn't on Who Are These Socials, and he brought it up immediately. The Carl's not here because he's at his dad's services. And it's been out there. I'm not trying to capitalize on it. I've not been bringing it up for that reason. Droopy Nuts says, Moody's chat system is why he's on this show. Let's talk about how he offers nothing to the show or society. I totally disagree with that sentiment. His charts are why this show exists.
Also, I would argue he was on my show, which is the only reason he owns part of the chat system.
Well, that's true too. Abe Froman, Carl is gay with the hottest beard. Condolences, sir. I think that's a nice thing. Thank you. Big Daddy Dodo, Carl, my deepest condolences to you and your family. Lost my sister colon cancer a couple of years ago. Quick question for Melton. What did Aaron smell like? F Steel Toe, F Stuttering John, F Kevin Brennan, F. What's BL?
Bob Levy?
Maybe. Hashtag RIP Papa Hamburger. Thank you very much, Big Daddy Dodo.
There was not a prevailing wind in the court, so I did not get a good whiff of Aaron. But I can say this, and I mean it. There's something about his face, and I said this on the show Wednesday, that it's just severe. I can't explain it. I've never seen a human being's face like this in my life. I never really got to see him from the front, except when he walked out with his lawyer for a minute to discuss everything after they came out of chambers. But he would just turn sideways, and I couldn't believe how far his eyes stick out from the socket of his head. And there's something about his jaw mouth area. I can't. It didn't look human. It's cartoonish. I'll never be able to explain it to people, and you'll always just be like, oh, you're just making fun of a guy's face. No, I mean, there's human faces, and he was constantly doing something with his jaw, making it go in and out. I think he was clenching or something, but I can't explain to you how weird his lips and mouth and jaw are up close. It's just bizarre. It's the only way I don't know how to explain it. It's fucking weird in person. It's just odd.
Never forget, TWO is just too sweet. Great show, guys. Another stub for the toe.
Tookie World Order. TWO.
Tookie's having more fun than all of us right now, unfortunately.
I don't know. He was
genuinely watching these shows.
Like me, he was genuinely upset that he wasn't in Minnesota. I would have loved to have been there. It looked a lot of fun. It's the first time anyone's ever said that sentence.
Carl was the only one who didn't seem to care that he wasn't there, but Moody and Rocco have been losing.
I would have loved to have been there. Have you heard about my travel schedule lately? I was in Boston last weekend. I'm in Detroit now. I'm going to Florida next weekend. It's enough. It's too much.
I feel bad. Like I had no idea you're dead. I'm so sorry, Carl. But I was like, Carl's the only one who doesn't have an excuse for not being in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, no,
it was so shitty. I'm so sorry.
I told this story on the Boston recap, but my dad passed away Saturday morning, and I was in Boston when my brother was there too. I was doing the show, and my mom, God bless her, what a sweetheart, waited until Sunday morning to call me and my brother and tell us. And I was like, that was very nice of you, Mom. Thank you, because that would have been rough.
My dad died on a Saturday morning too, and it's weird. I had stayed with him up until really late that night, and I got home early in the morning, went to sleep, and when I woke up, I had a message on my phone, and I knew what it was, and I just went back to sleep to like not deal with it because I knew kind of what that would be. So I think sometimes people they try to like shield you from it as long as possible. But to Moody's point, you didn't have an excuse then because he was already dead.
Oh, fuck off. At Hidden Hand Media, my condolences, Carl. I just finished 14 months of chemo hell and was lucky to make it through. Your shows helped entertain me during that time. P.S. You're still gay. Well, Hidden Hand Media, thank you very much. I've seen, obviously, firsthand what chemo will do to you, and 14 months sounds brutal. So good for you, man. Happy for you. Droopy Nuts. R.I.P. Mr. Hamburger. Sorry for your loss, sir. Thank you very much, Droopy Nuts. Penis Wrinkle is here. I haven't seen Penis. You know, my wife and I were just talking about this. Where did Penis Wrinkle go? Well, there he is. $5. My condolences, Carl. Since you're now an orphan, I'd like to file the papers to officially adopt you into the Wrinkle family. I'll take good care of you, son. Message me offline. Let's talk about that. Does this mean I'm not Jewish anymore? People were saying I was a Jew because of my dad. Does this mean I'm Gentile now?
Because of your mom.
Wow. Bo Beats Black Sheep says, what is the best piece of advice your dad gave you? You know what? My dad never gave me advice verbally, but he had a near-death experience in his late 30s, and he changed his attitude and the way he lived his life, and he lived life every day as if it were his last because he was playing with house money, and I had no idea he would make it to 74 years old. I couldn't believe it. And so he taught me like how to enjoy every single day and do the things that you love to do and find joy. And it was an amazing lesson to learn.
Don't wait.
Don't wait. Richard Lucas, condolences on your dad. Carl was pulling for him. Thank you, Richard Lucas. I appreciate that. All right, we've been at this a long time. We got to get back to the show content, I guess, at some point.
Guys, he lost his dad. You call these super tips? Get it going.
Stop it.
Stop. He lost his father.
Moody, you're sharing something with us. Should we go to that?
Yes. So before we started talking about your dad, we were talking about Todd Peterson as a lawyer. You said that he was likely recommended by
I was making a joke, but
someone like that. I've done some digging.
Oh boy.
This is where I think he found Todd Peterson. Can you share? Great. So this website, Avo, allows people to look at services in the area. And one of these services is finding a lawyer. And there are these things called sponsored listings. So some lawyers can pay to have them appear at the top of listings when you look for a criminal defense attorney in Minnesota and Sauk Rapids.
It's like what Amazon has become. Like you have to scroll for days to find an organic result.
Right. So there are these three up here: Jonathan Matthew Holson, Kenneth Lloyd Wilson, and Todd V. Peterson. They all need three names.
Can I point out also really quickly, Todd Peterson is on the bottom there. He doesn't look anything like that. He looks like the top guy. That's what he looks like in person. Like I have a video of him asking him, saying that sometimes good things happen to people.
I love that.
He doesn't even turn around.
So I think Aaron would have not really scrolled down that much. I think he would have stayed on these three up here. And he would have looked at the rating up here in the top right. He's like, I want someone who's experienced. So a 9.5 rating, that's the highest rating out of this slim pickings we've got over here.
So when Aaron said that he's a top guy, he meant like in the search results.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Interesting thing when you go here and read about him, right? This website gives you a breakdown of the sorts of cases these people do. So if you scroll down and you see what cases he looks at, most of his cases are DUIs and criminal defenses. DUIs, for those who don't know, is like bottom rung criminal defense.
These are billboard park bench lawyers. These
well,
are,
it's also a money maker,
It's a lot
man.
of money.
It's a
just
money
crank
maker.
them through. You can do 20 of these cases a day in court.
Exactly. Yep.
Exactly. So these people, these lawyers almost don't need to do any lawyering. They've got these templates or packets that they put together. They know based on if it's your first offense, second offense, or whatever, what they can talk the prosecutors down from, because they're like batch processing these things. You don't want a DUI lawyer to deal with other things. They'll go to them for DUIs. They'll almost be able to guarantee the outcome that you're going to get from that.
Right.
But if anything is different or hairy, it's going to throw them off. Instead, if you'd gone to, let's stay in these three that are up here, go to Jonathan Matthew Holson instead.
By the way, they're paying for all these clicks. I just hope you know.
Sure. But you'd want a guy that does this sort of thing, right?
Criminal defense. That makes a lot of sense.
Is mostly doing criminal defense and some DUI cases on the side. This is the sort of lawyer you'd be looking for. Can
I just point out real quick, there was a person in here who was saying, why is Moody on this show? This is why Moody is on this show. This is the type of detective work. This is brilliant what you've done here.
Not detective work.
So this is, you don't want this. You want someone, this is what you want. You don't want a DUI lawyer.
Right.
I also looked at the court schedule. So the court will say, here's all the cases, here's where this is happening at this time, and these are the parties. And so I looked up Todd V. Peterson in that, and these are all the cases he had on that specific day.
Just on one day.
Yeah,
this is like, if you ever watch Better Call Saul and his girlfriend becomes like a, defense, what do you call it? When it's like given by the state. This was like what her day.
Public defender.
Yeah, public defender. Yeah. When she became a public defender, and you saw like what her day was like, this is what it was. I have a 9:30, I have an 11:15, I have a 1:45, right. And she's eating a sandwich and trying to get caught up. Okay, I'm sorry. What did you say, Mr. Gonzalez? What I don't know why I picked Gonzalez. What did you say, Mr. Gonzalez? What happened?
They had the wrong folder.
Yeah, all right.
So this is what Todd Peterson's day looked like. This is why he doesn't want to go to court on another day, because any other day that he goes to court will have a whole bunch of other things that are on there. It's a busy day. He works on high volume flat fee. That's how it works for him.
But also Moody, he's in front of that specific judge all the time.
3 times in that day.
And that's what you want. You want an attorney who's familiar with the judge, who, there's mutual respect there. It seems like, and you were there, Patrick, it doesn't seem like there was a lot of mutual respect.
No, and to your point, Moody, when and I didn't bring this up, but when she was rescheduling this for October 2nd, she went around the room, obviously asked the prosecutor, is that good for you? She asked Aaron, is that good for you? He said, yeah. When she asked Todd Peterson, is that good for you? He was the only one who said, I'll get back to you in short order. I'll have to check. He didn't even have his calendar with him. So, like, to your point, yeah, I might have 6 other cases that day. Right. I got to check.
Wow.
Yeah. But this is Todd Peterson. Todd Peterson would be pissed off that this is gone on longer than what he thought. He got Aaron a plea deal that fell into their lap. Yes. I don't know if you remember Aaron talking about it. He said we're going to be going all the way to trial for this because he thought that was what was going to happen, and then out of nowhere this plea deal fell in their laps. It wasn't Todd Peterson working for it.
He didn't want to take it. He's like, we still have a whole bunch of stuff we want to submit.
Right.
Like, why haven't you submitted it yet? Submit it.
Yeah, what are you waiting for?
Why is there only a letter from your mother? I thought everyone wrote good letters for you. Where are those? Where's the outpouring of support?
I do want to read the letter that Gino supposedly wrote.
Right.
Maybe I'll text him and ask him if he can send it to me. Be good fodder for the show.
Did it ever show up in the court documents? Because if it didn't, then his lawyer didn't turn it in.
It didn't show up. Only the one from his mother.
What likely happened is it came across like Gino wrote it, and the lawyer said, "We're not going to turn this in."
And by the way, I love Gino, but if I'm ever in trouble with the law, I don't want him having my back. I'm good.
Those would be public, and the fact that no other letters were entered except his mother's means that the lawyer did not file them. So that's what I've been told. Like, if it existed, we'd have it.
It makes sense.
It's more harmful to have Gino as a friend and advocate in cases like this. Like, it honestly, and I'm not trying that as a dig at Gino. It's what it is.
It's like having a
detrimental.
co-defendant. He's literally almost like a co-defendant. It's like, why would he?
Who can't stop incriminating both himself and you further. He told the cops he no longer had the picture, but he was taunting Nick the other day saying, I've got the picture. So you haven't deleted it? You lied to the cops?
All right, so I think I want to show the Johnny Crutch's reaction because I want to demonstrate how their entire delusional reality broke down this week. Because I need to show how Johnny reacted to this, and then Patrick, I'd like to show your video, a little teaser you have with Coach Scott.
Yeah.
Because this is what happened to this whole steel toe world. And I know that he likes to gaslight his audience and tell them what's up and never show a clip and just, explain that he's in the right and everyone else is a loser.
Well, when we see these people who are, whether they're audience members or they're people like Matt or Johnny or Gino, defending Aaron, and we wonder how they can do that so staunchly and be so sure of themselves. The Gino clip proved it. This Johnny clip proves it. When they do finally find out that he is in jail at the end of the clip, these guys don't know anything about what's going on. Right. They don't care. Johnny's not his friend. They don't talk.
Oh yeah.
Aaron's delusional about his own case and what's going to happen and how it's going to play out. Again, we all knew more than them,
but also
the final thing.
What we're going to see in this video is that Aaron says everyone's a liar. I'm the only one giving it to you straight. I always tell the truth. The Kiwi Farms thread backs me up. Everyone else is a fucking liar. And so that's what Johnny hears over and over again. That's what Gino hears over and over again. So then people come into and they go, by the way, Aaron's in jail. And you're going to be like, you're a liar. You're going to see Johnny Crutches just immediately go like, everyone else is a liar. It's like, no, we're the ones who play the clip. We're the ones that show the context. We're the ones that Google Todd Peterson over here.
I said he wasn't going to go to jail, but I knew it was a possibility. I knew that this wasn't nothing. And Aaron is saying this is nothing. And
it was a lot bigger than any of us predicted.
Right. But this is my point, is these guys aren't his friend. They don't really talk. And even if they do, Aaron spins everything. They don't bother to look outside at all at any real analysis. I think what's embarrassing for a lot of these lawyers that Aaron's friends with too, whether it's who's Sean or Kurt, these guys aren't being intellectually honest about this.
Oh,
case.
dude, Sean said that the judge was spurging out with the words that he used. I'm like, this is not an attorney. What are we talking about?
Not being intellectually honest about the case. And it's like everyone can be just objective and step back and go, he could get in trouble for this. He could get in real trouble for this.
It's insane. Sean is a lawyer, is out of Ohio. He's worked both on the prosecution and defense side. He's got an end with Aaron. If there's anyone out there there's no one out there in a better position to comment on this case and the intricacies of it, what could happen and justify things that are occurring in there and make predictions. His brain is fried. He's just going out of his way to, I guess, hate on Nick throughout it all and offer no legal insight.
You should read the emails back and forth between them that I hacked. It's insane. I can only
imagine.
But he said the judge was spurging out. Nick had an impacted tampon. Okay, you want to throw in some barbs here and there, fine, but then offer insight after that. He said people were making fun of Todd V. Peterson for the letter that he wrote, and then offered no insight on what the potential consequences are of writing such a dismissive letter to the judge in the case where there's a victim of a crime. That would be a fascinating thing to know about from the perspective of someone who's been on both sides.
This is another guy who's just reading the Kiwi Farms thread on Nick Rekieta and going, this is the way the wind's blowing, and just this is where I'm going with this. It's there's other areas of the internet, I mean, Kiwi Farms is very, very important. Don't get me wrong. All of those people who post in that thread have a lot of insight and know exactly what's up. But there's other areas too where you could maybe look at and be like, oh, there's other sides of the story I should be looking into.
He's just a very insecure person because he could have made, I guess he could make content that is okay and palatable to almost everyone that's tangentially interested in the sphere. Something that Kiwi Farms people can refer to in their hatred of Nick to know what the possibilities are of things not going Nick's way, or people who don't like Aaron trying to see how messed up things are and what are the opportunities there. Him going off of the legal analysis route and starting to get into this the judge's Asperger gut. Like I almost anticipated him like starting to talk about the judge being on her period or something like that. Like it started.
You might as well have, yeah, right.
Close to that,
because that letter from Todd. If the judge read that, it had to turn her off. And then Aaron saying things on his show like, "We got to go in there, and the judge is going to tell us what we already know." She's going to be like, "Oh, you think you already know?"
She has no choice.
I have the final say on all this. You fucking idiot.
Do you know what the word judge means?
Right. There's no insight on like, look, the justice system is made up of people, and people obviously are different. And as objective things are, we'd like to pretend it is, it's actually subjective. And the rules of one judge, what might piss off one might piss off someone else, might not piss off someone
What are you,
else.
a law tuber over here,
Right,
Moody?
right. Like, why can Leo the paralegal? Like, I mean, I'm not just. He did a fantastic 1 hour video. It's like
Lucy Tightbox does a better job of this. She's not an attorney. She understands how this
that
works.
was a measured 1 hour analysis of Aaron's position before the sentencing thing happened, and he was right on almost.
Oh, he was great. Yeah, that was. I watched that.
And lay people know that the plea deal doesn't mean anything until it's approved by the judge. Like it happens all the time where a judge goes, "I'm not going to accept this deal. I don't think it's firm enough."
Right.
Or I don't like your attitude in court, or I don't think you've learned your lesson. So go back to the drawing board. Come up with something else for me.
All right. We have too much to talk about. Play the clip already.
Yeah! When you come into a chat and pay $2 to say, you don't have a comment, he's in jail. According to you. And what's your source on that? Melton? A liar who lies all the time. So
this is great. I love the way this is clipped. I don't know what the context is of the show, but the confidence that Johnny Crutches had right here. According to who? I don't know, man. Google it. I mean, look it up. It's readily available information. That's what the chat's telling you.
These guys don't have alternative threads in their brain to map out the alternative. Okay, the alternative is I flew to Minnesota, went into the courtroom. Aaron stuck it to the judge, and I got upset about that, so came out and tweeted Aaron's in jail.
Right.
How would that work out for me? Like, they never run the alternative. Like, what good would that be? I made this trip to lie about what happened in there, and I hope nobody finds out.
Also,
idiot.
Can we talk about the visual aspect of this show? So
Yes.
Johnny's got these like crazy supervillain goggles on or whatever the fuck. I think Spider-Man's afraid of him or something. I don't know what he's doing. And then he's got this other chick who's somewhere else and they're overlapping each other on the screen.
When I was in elementary school.
Notice I said this other chick. Anyway, keep going, Moody. I just did a Gino right there. I'm like, no one's giving me credit. Keep going.
When I was in primary school or elementary school, there was a kid in my class who was in a wheelchair, like just constantly, but his legs didn't work. But he
okay, hold on. That's the funniest thing you've ever said. There was this guy in a wheelchair constantly. He wouldn't fucking get up out of this wheelchair. He just wanted to be in it all the time.
Oh, it's
I don't know
another
if you know this,
wheelchair
Kyle,
day,
but-
is it, Tony?
You brought your fucking wheelchair again, huh? Was it show and tell again today, asshole?
But
My dog ate my wheelchair.
disabilities occur on a spectrum, Carl, and some people, while in a wheelchair, might be able to walk and get out of it sometimes. But this one was profoundly in a wheelchair.
Maybe in New Zealand that's true, but not in the States.
Okay. But anyway, this guy needed a teacher's aide. He needed an adult with him at all times because he needed like someone to change his diaper and also like help him and just make sure that he was there. He was a cool kid. He was one of my friends. But this is the way that the teacher's aide would sit behind him. He'd sit at his desk and she would sit a little bit back and to slightly one side of him,
keep an
just
eye
in
on
case he needed help with anything.
That's funny. Yeah, that's kind of what this looks like.
This is the
I'm not
POV
going
of
to
the
believe
teacher.
that either. You know when I'll believe that? When somebody I trust tells me.
Do you trust Google? Do you trust Stearns County websites?
No, there's a couple of chatters who know.
Yeah, when somebody he trusts tells him. What a weird way to think about things in life. Like, just look it up. Just look it from a reliable source. Waiting for a chatter to tell you?
We see this with Chad and Aaron all the time. It's like, dude, I got this from Lance. Believe it. Believe it.
Lance knows what he's talking
These
about.
guys don't understand that everyone is trolling them. And they have these trolls that they say they believe all the time because those trolls are aligned with them and who they like and don't like. And it's like they don't have this ability to recognize when they're being fucked with ever.
That he's in jail?
This happened.
Okay, fine. But I get.
I was watching this live. This occurred after the news that broke that Aaron would be going to jail, but before he showed up on the roster. So it's like in that sweet spot
Right,
where you
yes.
can't verify from the the roster.
Melton's
that he
tweet
there.
was out, but
Right.
you couldn't see it online.
Yes.
Just yet, yeah.
Again, don't believe that's the case.
Yeah.
My buddy would have told me if he was
I know, it's so stupid.
I
Send us
said
the,
so. You have no comment? No, I've made my comment repeatedly. I think you're full of shit. That's my comment. And I've also said, making that comment, when I'm proven wrong, I will also say, I was proven wrong.
Does he say he was proven wrong? Let's watch. I don't think he ever does. I think he says, who gives a shit?
He does.
A liar who lies. Got him all. Got him, Mr. Crutches. I did, Erico. Like I said, you guys lie. Do you know how many times you've come in here and told me that I won't be working on that show next week or that he's out? And again,
By the way, that's called speculation. That's not lying. These guys are conflating these two concepts. It's like you can say Aaron's in jail because he just got booked and I was here and I saw it happen. Or you can say, I don't think Aaron's going to even want to work with you next week. One of those would be a truth or a lie. The other one is speculation based on evidence they've seen and information.
Johnny, you're the last thing he has. He's holding on to you for dear life. You're the last person who will come on his show. Well, I guess he's got Kiki and Gino now, but again, that's risky now. So he's holding on to you pretty well because you're the only person who will sit there with him and co-sign his bullshit.
Part that annoys me the most, the part that I actually I don't get upset about, but your meal ticket. You don't realize how little I make on that show. I do it because he employs me.
No, we do. We do realize that. We just think you don't make any money anywhere else either. That's all.
He pays me, and it's worth the money for the time. I'm not going to get up and get that much money to do anything else twice a week. So
wow, he's on the show for 4 hours, sometimes 5 hours. He gets what, $50?
Yeah, but you're looking at it all wrong. He gets paid like $2 a word. If you look at it like that,
he can make more money being on Ray DeVito's show.
He's asleep half the time.
But he just contradicted himself. He said, I don't get paid that much. I would not get paid anything near that amount if I went and found other work that.
But that's what I'm worth. I get paid very little, but I get what I'm worth.
Yep.
I'll do that. And if I don't get that money, I'll go do something else to make it. I don't really care. How about you text him? No, because I don't give a fuck. You're the one who's invested in this,
right now.
not me. I'm kind of doing a thing. Here, I've got an idea.
This is the other thing that all these retards. So Johnny's reading the chat and it says, well, text Aaron and find out. And he's like, no, I'm doing a show right now. No, you're not. You're reading the chat and responding to it.
Right.
That's the opposite of doing a show. Like if you're doing a show, then get to the show.
And then again, he's got his own Johnny and this digger chick sitting next to him who just like, yeah, we know everything about everything. Come to find out they don't. When they do find out he goes to jail in a minute, they're like, what's this even for? What was it? It's like the violations. Hello.
How about, since you don't give a shit about this show, you fuck off. I'm not going to drop what I'm doing to prove you. Oh, you're going to get, are you going to give me that victory lap?
I want to point out too, because I've been seeing this for years. I've been reviewing podcasts going on for 9 years. And it's always the people with the smallest audiences that are so quick to be like, well, stop fucking watching then. I don't need you. It's like, no, you kind of do. Like, invite more people in. Don't tell them to fuck off. Don't block them.
The week before he cried and said, I barely make $20 doing this stupid
Right.
show.
Right. So you can't all of a sudden have this gravitas where you're just like, I don't need any of you fuckers.
Or see it as an opportunity. If we hit the $50 goal, I will check the jail roster.
There you
to see
go.
if you guys are right. Like,
There
it
you
has
go.
some sort of enterprising spirit.
But go, you know what? You were right. We were wrong. You called him and you proved he's not in jail. No. Again, I'm just simply not going to believe you because that's been my modus operandi this whole time. And so far, up until this point, hasn't steered me wrong.
Number one, Chevrolet.
His instincts do steer him wrong. Again, can you imagine? This is Aaron's friend.
Yep.
In this moment, he's live, leaning into this and talking about it, how much that would gain interaction and traction with the conversation, draw new listeners in. People be like, Johnny's talking about him being in jail right now. He'd get more money. He'd get more listeners. He'd get more viewers. All of this. If I was live and someone said Moody's in jail, Moody
Right.
got sent to jail right now, we'd spend so much time exploring that and trying to figure out what's going on.
Absolutely.
Yes. That's hilarious.
People would be super tipping in my voice.
Yeah,
talking about like.
Chevrolet says, "Why not just check the jail roaster quick? Because I'll do it."
Roaster.
There you go. He's
Chevy
Mr.
JB's checking
number
the
one
jail
Chevy.
roster?
He's checking the jail roster. Yeah.
Why not just
There
check
you
the?
go.
I'll do it. Okay, yeah, I'll believe
Yeah.
Chevy. If Chevy JB comes back and says he's in jail, I'll believe you. But
Yeah.
and even then, I don't think so. Fall in the Great says he's not on the roster, and I trust.
I'll believe you if you provide evidence. But
Anybody
even
can
that,
make a
I'm not
PDF.
sure.
Anybody can make a jail roster. I don't
Right.
believe this.
Fall in the Great. Fall in the Great is a person I've met in real life. Gave me this fucking cowbell. There's something to that. So again, I'm sorry, you guys. Time to take.
These fucking guys.
Yeah, Zuma, I sent you a shirt and you betrayed me.
It's always show and tell too. They're like, no, I know that guy. Here's proof. Here's a trinket.
I want to see. It's like these sort of almost uncontacted tribes where there's like special symbolism of objects that they have. If you want to show that you are platonic friends with someone, you give them a cowbell. If you want to declare you love, you find a feather off a peacock and attach that to a stick, and that becomes your marriage stick. Like, what are the other things that people have
That
given them?
means something. I got a cowbell from this man. Hello.
My victory lap. You're all fucking wrong again. Cope and seethe because you can't fucking handle the fact that you.
Now he's just regurgitating what he hears. I love things that don't age well when they don't age well by like 20 minutes. That's always my favorite thing. It's just like,
this is 5
yeah,
minutes.
right.
What a short-lived victory for me if I come out and lie about Aaron getting sent to jail. Like,
right.
What does that? How does that serve me? You fucking idiot.
Can't admit, a bunch of people were pieces of shit, but this guy has to be the worst. No, he doesn't. You're all taking a lap.
You might be a great guy.
Well, they need to do a lap. More so than me. But I know one person who won't do a lap.
Melton.
And you can see it. You can see that he misses leg day. So again, Johnny crashing out hard. Over what? Over the fact that once again, Spurgs keep coming in here to fucking lie out their ass.
Johnny's
And I'm
never had a leg day.
What? Yeah, right. Is he making fun of Patrick for
My legs are actually the best part of my body.
Right.
They're the most muscular toned
They're
thing.
carrying a lot of weight. Of course,
Yes,
your legs
they're
are
very
fine.
top
I'll
heavy.
put my legs up against any motherfucker in here.
I'll tell you right now, if I had your body, I would fall over. My legs can't handle that.
More your feet.
Yeah, well, fuck off.
just tired of it. You can't trust anyone. I need to do a lap.
Number one
says Erico.
Chevrolet.
But again, I just want to point out, like, Johnny's sitting there and arguing with the chat, where he's just like, I don't need to listen to you. Why are you telling me stuff? You don't have to read it. It's up on the screen. I don't have my chat up on the screen. I'm ignoring it. We're doing a show right now. We have content. We have things to talk about. We're not even getting to it. We have so much shit to get to.
Don't
Coach
look,
Scott
Carl.
coming up.
Not good. Don't look.
I'm sure that's it.
Chevrolet is saying, "You've met me too, asshole."
You've met me too.
Better.
Right, but again, I'm just saying,
Acknowledge
like,
him.
I got the confirmation from Fallen before you got back to it. Thank you, Saint Aaron.
He's another one of these guys who has to have his own laugh track in the show to tell you when things are funny. Cool.
Your boy is in the pokey. Actually, somebody already checked, and the answer for that is no. So if you believed someone who's repeatedly lied to you that he is, I have bad news for you. He lied again. So again, our sources, I have two different sources that I trust that just checked the jail roster, not by my request, because you guys pulled this, you Smurfy people pulled this shit. Yeah. Johnny, you're not on the jail roster until you're booked, remember?
I don't
Yeah,
believe
but what's
anybody
he going to
who
be
was
booked
there.
for?
I don't believe anyone who's got boots on the ground in the courthouse. I believe K. Fallen the Great, my cowbell a source.
Also, you can tell right here if he's losing confidence. Because he just, every single person in the chat's like, nope, you're wrong. He's in jail. No, this is how this works. It's not on the website yet, but he's in there. And you can tell he's just like, wait, what? So they don't update the website in real time? Wait, what? What's going on?
I wonder if
Everything got wrapped.
I wonder if there'll be body cam footage of Aaron getting taken over to the jail.
Ooh. FOIA request.
There won't. You won't be able to access it because unless it's used as
You're a
evidence.
buzzkill, Moody. You're a buzzkill.
No, I'm just accurate.
Wrapped up yesterday. How is he going to be booked for new stuff? There's no new thing. Again, this is all fucking. We just checked.
If he had more naked pictures of girls, he'd be sending them to me like he always. I mean,
but again, it shows a fundamental lack of understanding about the entire case from a guy he said is his friend. The fact that he didn't get a letter from Johnny speaks volumes. The fact that Johnny doesn't understand there are new things. There are new things, Johnny. They came out last week. Aaron lies to you.
This is an example of what happens when you have steel toe as your source of information.
Yes.
This.
I've been saying it all episode. The delusions, the world they live in that is not reality, all came crumbling down this week, and this is an epic example of that.
Carl knows firsthand. Carl was like,
Yes,
still there.
This happened to me. I'm like, Aaron's saying that they're still together. She'll probably come back on the show, and I went, oh, he's full of shit. Never mind.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
This. If he was booked into jail, he'd be in the roster. It's on Twitter. Right. Twitter and Reddit have never.
You got to find that phone call I called into NLO a year and 2 months ago or whatever. And I was just like, dude, you're getting played right now. Patrick, you're an idiot. April's going to show up on Monday. I want to hear that. It was a very short call, but boy, did I look dumb.
I want the security footage from the kitchen when you apologize to Patrick for being
Oh, it's funny.
Lied. Again, I'm not going to believe you, so just stop telling me because I don't care. I don't give a fuck. What I'm checking to make. I have more important things to do. Making $50. I really don't care whether Aaron Imholt's in jail or not. Spoiler alert, he's not.
Then do it.
This is another.
Don't tell us you have better things to do while you're not doing them.
Yeah,
it's narcissist's prayer.
It's like the narcissist prayer. He's going through these steps of grief where it's like he's not in jail, and even if he is in jail, I don't care. It's like, well, which is it?
And if I do care, I still wouldn't cover it.
And if he is in jail, it's not a big deal. And if it is a big deal, then it doesn't matter.
He'll get it thrown out. Like, yeah.
We've had people claiming they're texting him. We've had people claim he's in jail. So who am I going to believe? Believe people he's not. You know, it takes a few hours to update the jail roster. Well, you're not allowed to have a phone in jail, and people are able to text him, apparently. So, again, you know that if he's not in jail, even when they update the roster, he still won't be on it. So, Serenity now. Tanks in 30 minutes. Tanks in 30 minutes. Tanks where? We're deploying tanks? Shit. Again, I have like an actual show to do, so I'm
I know. What a show he's got. Just a random thing. Tanks in 30 minutes. He's just like, oh, this is something I can grasp onto.
Red War.
You never have a clue. Well, again, I told you, other people, because you guys asked for it in the chat, other people in the chat felt the need to run down your rumor, and it was proven wrong. What more do you want from me? I can't make your falsehood a reality, okay? I don't have that power, so let it go. Johnny's panicking. No, I'm not. I'm trying to do a show. And actually, I am getting annoyed at the third time now that I'm like kind of spinning in neutral trying to do a show because you guys keep talking about a rumor that I have no interest in talking about.
Is he obligated to read every chat out loud? Is that like, what is he talking about here? He's just like, guys, you're the ones who's fucking everything up for me.
The wheels don't spin in neutral. Have you never?
Johnny, if you said $10 per question about Aaron during this time,
Moody keeps looking at the financial angle.
$200. Like, he's like, I'm not interested in talking about it. Then what are you doing here?
Then what are you doing? These are free chats. You don't have to talk about it.
I'm going to say, Aaron just sent me an email about my VIP shit 5 minutes ago. Y'all are retarded. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm going to just say this. I don't believe the people saying he's in jail. I haven't checked it out specifically myself, but people
What are you talking about? You had proof. He was using the word proof just a second ago.
Think about that alternative that he believes. Aaron just got out of court, and he's just doing firing off some emails about murder.
Right.
Trust have and said not on the roster, answering emails and texts. So I'm going to say no.
That's it.
Yeah, dude.
shouted out
King
Ralph
Kong Dong,
Reynolds.
go for it. If they're only here to talk about fucking Aaron, which again, I know you want to, but he's not into you. Let him go. I'm all right. It's not like them being.
It's the only reason you're interesting, Johnny.
He wants him banned if they're mentioning Aaron. He's got 12 viewers.
It's the only reason anyone's interested in Johnny is that he's the co-host on Aaron. Wait till he's off of Steel Toe. How many people are going to be paying attention to Johnny Crutches?
No one will be able to clip you when you spill your water then.
Right.
It's like the same thing
We
happened
never
to
played
Corey
that on the
Adams.
show, but it was funny. What's that, Moody?
Corey Adams, same thing happened to him.
Yeah,
I'll go out on
exactly.
my own.
Right.
And he was interesting for a little bit because he talked about Steel Toe, and then he stopped, and everyone stopped paying attention.
His channel's dead.
Being here is going to hit our $50 goal, and it's not like whether or not they say is true or false is going to hit our $50 goal. So again, if they can't understand anything else, I just have more important shit to do than give a fuck about your crap. So fuck off. The only jailer Johnny cares about is the maw.
I
just want you people to you're not going to.
How do his neurons not connect with he's like, I want $50 from this group of 25 or 30 people, and there's information that they want to extract from me that I'm not willing to give them.
Yeah.
Maybe sell or trade.
It was on my list. It's near Stoney's apparently, and I didn't have time to go this trip. But if we go again, I had a listener who wanted to take me to the strip club where Johnny DJs.
Oh, I'd go for that.
That'd be great.
I'm in for that.
Support the show. We know this. You're here to take a victory.
We're just throwing dollar bills at Johnny. The strippers are like, what the fuck?
We're giving the strippers money, so they love us. The bartenders love us, and Johnny wants us kicked out.
Yes. Just like Sony's.
Lap for a lie. And I don't want to do that either. I just want to move on and do my own show. So, hey,
let's
I
do
just
that.
got a
Let's
shout
just-
out. Yeah, it's real. Yeah,
Okay.
you know what? Fuck it. Screw
pull
it.
up the next,
Chat is
news
officially
thing.
off of the show for today. We're officially no longer doing a show with the chat.
Uh-oh.
Like that's one of the disadvantages of the way I do a show is chat's part of the show, and that's why people always want Aaron. Like, why don't you have the chat on the screens? Like, because he ignores the ones that he doesn't want to pay attention to.
Right.
I have to pay attention to them.
None of
you
these
don't.
guys.
Fuck that.
None of these guys get it. Perry Caravello.
Again, you don't need to keep blocking.
Perry Caravello makes a ton of money despite this, but why are you putting free chats up on the screen? That's why
Right.
you're not getting super chats.
Correct. And he's acknowledging every single one, too.
Right.
And he's like, oh, if only I was like Aaron, I could ignore the chat. Yeah, you can do that anytime you want.
Free chats and gets distracted.
Well, that's
inside.
true. That's true.
People, we just took the chat off the screen. They can spurg all they want, dude. Like I said, Rusty Grammar, you can let it go. I don't give a fuck. I'm just not going to have it on the chat. I'm tired of.
Are they spurging? Or are they telling him what's up? They're literally like explaining, like, no, Johnny, I'm telling you, man, you're wrong. Like they seem exasperated. They're like, we're just telling you, like, you're wrong about this. Like the website's not updated yet, but that doesn't mean anything. Oh, so you guys are spurging out. Okay.
of addressing it, so I'm just gonna ignore it. Wow, you guys are still spurging. Oh. By the way, I don't know if you know this or not. It's my show, so if I don't want to put the chat up on the screen because you guys want to spurg
I don't know
out
if
about
you
that
know that
shit,
or not.
I don't have to. So
Right.
you can say whatever you want about it. I'm still up. I guess.
You would
I'm
make-
so salty about it because I won't put.
You would make the worst 911 operator. Oh, you guys are still saying there's a mass shooter there? Okay, I'll believe it when I hear it on the dispatch radio. You are the dispatcher.
Man with machete, I doubt it. That's
The
crazy.
ninth call saying that. Okay, I believe you.
Put the chat on the screen. Again, I'm totally sure all these people will admit they were wrong, like they always do.
So,
Well,
as of now, yeah.
I would say this. It would be the first time that I've been wrong about this.
No, that's a good way to admit that you were wrong about something. Wow, guys, I can't believe it. For the very first time ever, I was incorrect about information.
I would argue that when it happens is the only time it counts.
Trusting that person would be the first time that's happened, which makes me think that there's something I don't know. Like this is a thing happening new for something else. I don't know. Either way.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
There's a lot of things you don't know, Johnny.
Right.
A lot of things you don't.
We're
This makes me
little-
think that there's things that I don't know. Yeah, correct.
Do a little research.
Yeah.
Is it something new? Like it's the same sort of charge, but I wonder if it's a new one.
Yeah. Remember that felony and gross misdemeanor? Probably something to do with those things. Yeah, probably.
Would be why he's being rear.
Either way, like I said,
last week, it could be that, but you had your head buried in the sand listening to Aaron the idiot.
Now all of a sudden they're curious. They weren't curious at all a second ago. Now they're like, I wonder what's up with this.
Oh,
I don't want to look into this and do this now because I don't like making my show the let's report on somebody else's life for every waking minute of every day.
Right.
I don't mind touching on stuff, and that's why I kept saying I didn't want to talk about
like grass.
The other stuff. Oh, this is a thing, and I told people I wouldn't believe it until it came from a source I trust, and then if it is true,
actually you called them all liars, and you said it wasn't true, and that you proved it, and now you've turned it into I just said I wasn't going to believe it until I got it from a reliable source. No.
Wait, how much did the cowbell guy's stock just drop?
Yeah, right. This cowbell meant nothing.
Source I trust tells me it, and I find out. I will say, as I'm saying right now, I was wrong. So there you go. That's everything that we said would actually happen. So there you go.
Look at that. Okay, so now what, guys?
Yeah. No. Now what? You guys. Now what?
Right.
Now everything that you thought was reality is not reality. Now what? And they're like, we said we were wrong. Moving on.
Everything. Your close friend who you spend more than 8 hours a week with, it's more time than he spends with his parents. You found out that he's not correct about something he told you was guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
And his instinct is, I don't want to talk about that. Something's landing in your lap, and you don't want to talk about it.
What an idiot. I mean, I can't tell you how many times he gets clipped. Like, the clippers will pick up on if he spills his water and trips or something like that. But, like, actual content on his show never happens. He's just like, well, I don't want to talk about this. This is the exact thing you should be talking about right now. Be looking into it. Be listening to the chat, taking calls. I don't know, something. All right, so we're going to reveal this this Coach Scott video. I do want to get caught up just a little bit. We're not going to go all the way. We're going to get caught up a little bit because there's been a ton of support. We have over 1,700 people here watching us live. I really appreciate that. I hope it sounds decent. I didn't bring a microphone with me. I'm in Detroit right now. But this has been a fantastic show. It's been the best weekend, the best week for Steel Toe that I've ever experienced. Can't believe how much has happened. Patrick's been a huge part of that. Of course, Aaron was a big part of it too. I got to give Aaron some credit on this one.
Without him.
Exactly. Right. Let's give Aaron a little bit of credit. And Gross Crusaders TV coming in.
Hey, I tricked Nick using Kiki's voice. Now I've tricked a stupid judge in Minnesota that this giant fucking nerd is violating the terms of his release. Another win for the Toe.
Mike Dick coming in. He said, super chatted Toe asking for a dollar amount for him to read his court speech. Wouldn't bite. He will F this up. I'd bet on it. He F's everything up.
He's going to go to jail by the end of the year. That's happening. He can't stop himself from talking. Are we going to cover his first stream back?
Right. Oh yeah. Write that down, by the way, because Moody says he's never wrong. So write that down.
He'll be committed to jail. Like he will be sentenced to jail.
I
by
think
the
you're
end
right.
Of the
He
year.
can't help
and
himself.
I've said this before. Like there's whether it's for this or something else. Even if he got away from everything here, he's incapable of keeping his mouth shut, and he would end up in jail for something that he said because he can't stop himself.
There's nothing but evidence that that's true. Yes, it's been his entire career. Anonymous with $20. Thank you.
Me and your dad are smiling down at you, Carl. You're balding.
Oh shit! They can see that. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like now that my dad is looking down at me, I got to be on my best behavior. Before, like he had no idea what I was up to.
Speaking of that, I got to look at Aaron's hair from the back, and it's thin back there. It spirals and it's very.
I can't comment on that. I'm sure that's true. Drive by coming with $50, which is very much appreciated. He says, "My sincere condolences for the loss of your father. May he rest in peace." Thank you, Drive by. It's very much appreciated. You're a sweetheart. Magnum DUI coming in.
I got an extra biscuit this morning for eating a little jizz. Another win for the Toe. Losers.
Good for you, Aaron. Coach Aaron's Cummy Lips. Serious question, because I'm dumb. If the prosecutor receives so much info on his violations, why would she accept a plea heavily in his favor? I think that was before that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know how long the plea takes to be brought to people, but
The plea happened back in April.
I think.
And he was bragging about it so much that I think there were certain people who went,
yes,
look at this fucking asshole who's acting like he's the king of the world. So they started clipping him having no remorse and sending it to the judge.
I think they were ignoring and forgiving some minor violations up to that point, and he went ape shit when that plea deal was signed. He went crazy.
Yes.
He thought he was free. He thought it was all over. And so he started saying things like, I did it, which is really stupid because if the plea deal gets thrown out, then they can't use the plea deal and you accepting that as evidence of your guilt, but they can use, say, if you went on a show and said, I did it, that's you admitting to the crime.
Yes.
So he has
It was great imitating Aaron, telling Nick to speak out and come clean. Now I need to imitate Nick, telling Aaron, man, you got to speak up. The truth shall set you free. Also, sorry, Carl.
Thank you very much. Good point, though. Sugary Coyote, $5. Is it true Toe wore the same maroon suit to the court that he did it to his wedding? Scary if true.
It looked like it. He wore the jacket only. He had gray pants. He didn't wear the matching pants, but it was the same jacket.
Yeah. You know, they always say you have one jacket for your wedding and for court appearances. George, condolences on losing your father. Blessings to your family. My dad passed almost 10 years ago. And in the words once spoken by Patrick, I wish my dad was alive so he could die again. Did you say that, Patrick?
I don't remember that. Probably.
Thank you, George. It's much appreciated. I really appreciate all the support, by the way. You guys have been so generous, and thank you for that.
I have legal fees, so I will have to up the goal amount next week to $1,000. If you want me to eat cum, please send me your cum with $100, and I will eat it live on air. We'll also consider eating butter.
Eating a whole stick of butter, which is a very high fat and calorie dense food, is not recommended and can lead to digestive issues and potential long-term health problems.
That is true. I learned about that from Dr. Steve. Daddy Poopy.
Carl, I'm sorry to hear about your dad. I put up a little RIP sign in my mobile coffee stand to bring awareness to how it's not just the LGBTQI community that experiences death. I had a person that identified as a woman come up to me and told me how much she appreciated the sign and how great of a business owner I was for feeling for others. Sigh. It was a great day. For me. Probably not you or your family.
That is true, Oak Dad. Thank you for that. Anonymous, way to ruin this little piggy show. Carl, your dad should have passed next week. I know. I told him that too. I said, we got big news. But he didn't listen to me. The reply guy.
Sorry for your loss, Carla. Please accept this broken iPad mini.
Thank you, Senator. The wrong Heberger passed.
Oh, no.
I see what you did there. You're rooting for Grant to go. I get it. Whatnot Chaser. Is it wrong that I want to pull Johnny's chair out from under him? It would be funny.
When he's in that egg chair, it looks like he hatched too early before his leg started to develop.
Do they handcuff him on the courtroom? Do they handcuff him in the courtroom?
No, I guess they grabbed his arm and let him out, which is even more, somehow that's more feminine.
Yeah,
like,
that's
could you
true.
handcuff me?
Don't worry, bro. You got your sunglasses on, bro, which means nothing can hurt you, bro.
Thank you. Why? All right, we'll come back to this. Guys, thank you so much for the support. But I've been teasing this the entire show, and we're almost 2 hours in.
This is about the Scots. Do we not want to go over the Aaron's return from the court before we move on to Scott, or we'll come back to that?
Let's come back to it.
All right, we'll take.
Is that okay,
Scott
Moody?
break. That's fine.
Let's take a Scott break.
This isn't over. I'm just saying that the court stuff's not over. There's a lot of things left to discuss.
No, he's not scot free.
Now there's a segue.
So to set this up, I of course I had to go to the gym and see Coach Scott. I didn't know how this would go. I didn't know if we'd be kicked out immediately. I will say this: Scott is a terrific dude, nice guy.
Are you guys texting friends now? Do you exchange phone numbers?
He wanted me to email him the photos we took together.
Nice.
He's awesome. And as you're going to see from the clip that I'm going to tease the rest of the Scott content I have, I talked to Scott for over an hour. A lot of it didn't get recorded, but I have almost 40 minutes of video with Scott explaining a lot of stuff and clearing up a lot of stuff. This was on our way out. This came up and I filmed this. So this is a little 3-minute clip to tease what I'll be going over on my show next week. But he couldn't have been more gracious. This is a small business owner and a guy who's passionate about helping out youth and boxing. And he admits that Aaron is kind of fucking with his business by running around yelling and lying and dragging him into this. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't know why Aaron's doing it. He's made it very clear to me that Aaron doesn't listen to him. Aaron goes against his wishes constantly. And he wishes Aaron would focus on himself and leave him alone. But this is on the way out. It came up a couple times, and you'll see it in the other video too. But this is Coach Scott's thoughts on a boxing match between myself and Aaron and how that might play out. This is great. All right, Scott wants to set up a boxing match between Aaron and I.
Okay, I think this would be good because everything comes to a conclusion. Okay, so now that everything's concluded, and
by the way, this is the day before sentencing, so we thought everything was concluded.
Right.
Oops.
You know, the age gap actually have to be both boxers, amateur boxers, be within 10 years of each other. But I mean, think about it. I mean, with the podcasters on both sides, north, south, good, bad, big, tall, doesn't matter. Man, this could be epic.
Exhibition match.
Epic. It'd be a true amateur match. Not even use exhibition because it would be real.
Who's your money on? Who would you put your money on?
That'd be tough because sometimes.
Okay. That I loved.
No, in his defense, he's standing in front of you.
There's another clip in the beginning where I asked him what it would take to get me in fighting condition to beat Aaron, and he's like, "Oh, we could do that so quick because Aaron doesn't listen to me."
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking at Aaron, a trained boxer of how many years? 20 years or whatever he says. This is a blank slate that doesn't exercise. Like,
right.
Which one is your money on? It's not good.
Well, wait until you hear his reasoning for why he can't really make a call.
Emotion drives people nuts. I think emotionally, the book about women, like men do one thing, women see the other.
Women are from Mars,
and women are from Venus.
Yeah.
That this is what it would be because I think emotionally that would be.
Does he know what he's saying right here?
That would be.
I'm sorry. Back it up. We have to hear that again. This is amazing. This is fucking amazing.
He's
saying Aaron's a bitch, but
a boxing match between Aaron and I would be like, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, because Aaron's emotional and I'm rational.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be because I think emotionally that would be Aaron, rationally. The book about women, like men do one thing, women see the other.
Women are from Mars,
and women are from Venus.
Yeah.
That this is what it would be because I think emotionally that would be Aaron, rationally that would be you.
So he's from Mars and Aaron's from Venus?
I think
Pause it real quick.
There you go.
You know what's so amazing about this is that he gets all of his news from Aaron, and yet he still thinks you're the rational one.
Yes.
Imagine that. Like you're getting all your news filtered through. This guy's a piece of shit, and he's a loser, and he's fat, and we all hate him. And he's going, "Wow, this guy's an emotional little bitch." Shut up.
We're Cardiff's kids.
Nick
We're gonna
clarified.
we're gonna need Aaron as Venus in the like a clamshell that's open with him doing this with like Johnny as a cherub around him.
Nick clarified. Nick goes, "So Patrick's from Mars and Aaron's from Venus," and he goes, "There you go." Yes.
Hilarious.
And he expounds.
Mars versus Venus.
Are you calling Aaron a woman?
Greatest promotion
No, I'm only the planet Venus now. I mean, the book. Hey, but emotion. I mean, but he's charged with that emotional drive. If he had the rational.
Yeah, but do you think he knows how to bottle that emotion and aim it in the right direction? Because he's kind of like just spraying it everywhere now.
That was a fireworks. There's a guy over here that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
It's getting dark. We got to get out of here.
We're gonna get hit by.
It's not in a good neighborhood.
Okay. That's why he said, by the way, that's just fireworks, guys. That wasn't a gunshot.
He would really have to.
He's got to learn how to manage that emotion.
There you go. Manage it. Yeah. And
But I think I'm 3 inches taller. If I worked on it, like you said, condition a little bit.
The conditioning he would have.
Yeah.
Okay. The rationality you would have, and again, just like in boxing. Okay, here's the height, here's the reach, here's the experience, here's he's a brawler, this one's a boxer. I think the matchup. There's the qualities that each of you guys have, and
But that's why it'd be fun to watch.
it would be fun to watch because how would it be? Would it be the stalking first, or would it be okay? I'm coming right out.
Okay, pause it real quick. Now, I don't know if Coach Scott's being a character. I don't know this guy at all, but you would think that he's a guy who coaches at a gym, owns it. You would think he'd come out and say, like, oh, no, you don't know the fundamentals. Like, of course, an actual trained boxer is going to destroy you in the ring. Like, that's how this works. Instead, he's sitting there looking at you going, oh, yeah, this would be a great matchup. This would be very interesting.
From everything he told me in the other videos that I've shot with him, Aaron wants to, same as they said with Chad. Chad wants to be a comedian, but doesn't want to do comedy. Right, Aaron wants to be a boxer, but doesn't want to put in the work, doesn't want to listen, does not take it seriously at all. So he's like, if you would come in here and you would listen to me, he goes, it's 99% conditioning. We got to get you so you're not getting gassed out in the ring. But once you do that, teaching you the fundamentals, just the basics of how to box,
would make you better than Aaron Emmett.
Yes.
That's incredible. This is the guy who's seen Aaron in his 2 matches. I assume he's been to both of them, getting knocked out in the first round. Like, he knows Aaron just doesn't have it.
Not only that, Scott told me that on the last couple matches that Aaron has wanted to fight, Scott as his coach, he belongs to a gym, he belongs to a boxing program. Scott is his coach. Scott has the final say of whether or not to allow that match to happen. Yeah. And Scott has not allowed Aaron to box because he's afraid Aaron's going to get hurt.
That's insane.
He's basically told Aaron, you don't have it. Like, you can't win. And Aaron keeps begging him, like, you got to let me fight. And he tells him, like, this guy's going to hurt you.
To have a guy who you think can be beaten by an obese man that has just walked in off the street, literally untrained, to have that guy as one of the coaches for your youth, I don't know if that's a good thing from Scott's perspective, or maybe it just highlights how little the coach's skills actually do matter.
Well, could you imagine this obese, ugly man who has very little charisma and doesn't dress very well comes in and he thinks he can beat him? Is that what you said, Moody? I'm sorry, I was paraphrasing.
I have it in the video. I asked him, I said, do you think you could get me to a point relatively quickly where I could fight Aaron and beat him? And he said, oh, yeah, because you'll listen and he won't.
That's amazing.
So that's where we're at.
Aaron is not a listener. That's definitely true.
What would it be?
I'll take the win of you calling Aaron irrational. Thank you very much, Scott. We appreciate you.
There we go. Amazing, Scott.
I have about 35 minutes or more of Coach Scott. We'll be going over all of it.
He really doesn't deserve what Aaron's done to him. I know. For Aaron to have dragged him, he seems to be someone that's just out to bat for anyone who shows an interest in boxing, and for Aaron to have gone and used that as a way for him to extend, hit people over the head over the internet with.
And again, Moody, we all have hobbies. We're all good at stuff outside of this. None of us are bringing it up and oh yeah, well then I want to see you challenge me at this thing. Let's do cross-country skiing. It's this is so retarded that he brought up boxing in the first place, and then he's down there at the gym and he's ready for Ethan and Ralph to show up and come on, man, come down here and fight me. And he's got all his gear on. It's dude, you're just embarrassing yourself. No one's impressed by this.
Some other highlights, I do confront him to get a clear answer on whether or not Aaron has ever been a coach there, and he has not. Ever.
Yeah, well, of course not.
Coach there, and basically when Aaron talks about going down to the gym and boxing now, he has to go alone in a corner by himself. He's not even allowed to talk to the boxers in the program.
Wow.
He's not allowed to be a part of it at all.
And that's
so
why the members only shows are Thursday nights.
He cannot go down there while they're doing it. He's literally not allowed for insurance reasons. And even if Coach Scott told me, even if Aaron gets cleared up by USA Boxing and stuff, this is a membership organization gym. And for Aaron to become a coach for the first time, all the members of the gym would have to vote on it. He has no control even as the owner, the way the organization is set up. So with his history and stuff, he said they might not even want the trouble. Like he may never coach at this gym, like his dream.
And why would he? He's not good at it. He doesn't listen. He wouldn't be able to teach.
Aaron's been saying that Scott's gym has received letters from Safe Sports saying that the clearing is coming on the way.
Right.
They've cleared him of everything and he's going to be reinstated again. Did you ask him about?
He gave some clarity on that too. He said he thinks the Safe Sport thing is cleared up, but it's USA Boxing.
Okay.
It's so like the reason he couldn't even attend that USA Boxing thing in February that he was supposed to fight at is for insurance reasons. The whole event's insurance would be in jeopardy if Aaron was even in the building as a spectator. He's not allowed to attend anything. But he said he thinks the Safe Sport stuff is cleared up. Now, I imagine this arrest could reset everything back to I don't know.
Because the felony charge is still in effect till October now. So, I mean, that's a red light finding and you're excluded from Safe Sport on behalf of that. So I think he's still showing up on the Safe Sport site as temporarily suspended.
Yeah,
so
Scott may not be perfectly plugged in on that.
David D. Dominici coming in. Why are we talking about this dumb bullshit when Carl just lost his dad? Because this is what we do for fun. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have fun and live your life and enjoy it. It's what your loved ones would want for you. Carl, I would like to be your godfather. I'll reach out to Penis Wrinkle and we'll set it up. Sorry for your loss, man. All right. Yeah. Let me know. I need new parents. I'm out of parents. I'm not kidding. I'm kidding. My mom's still around. She's great. Question for Moody. What do you think your contributions are here? Do you think you're insightful or funny?
I'm here just to get super chats from people saying, what are your contributions?
Can I stick up for Moody? When we were looking for a co-host for this program, we went to this website where you can find co-hosts, and there were 3 that had paid for advertising, and they were at the top. Now, look, if you click on the one with the highest rating, it's Chad Zumach. He's got a lot of air horns and whistles. If you click in the Moody's profile, you'll see that he brings graphs and statistics to the table. It's the guy you want.
Jenny the Vehicle, Carl's dad passed. I didn't even know he was sick. MJ204, 5 big booms for Papa Hamburger. Boom, 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 boom. We bring the boom to you. Paula Dazzo, love you, Carl, and TSN. And go Cubbies. Go Cubs, go. Thank you very much for that. Adam Priest says, or Madam Priest, I say, thank you to Melton for going to Minnesota. Great content, buddy. Please show the courtroom sketch again. It's almost as good as the Stuttering John security video from DabbleCon 2. Aaron destroyed his life for clout.
I'll have to bring it up. It's in my backpack downstairs.
I expect that's getting sold off to.
Yeah, people say I should frame it and sign it and auction it off.
Right.
Backpack downstairs. I thought you were in your basement. What's going on right now?
Doxed.
Someone needs to park Johnny in the sun for a bit.
He shriveled like a raisin.
CMOS 4044. Sorry for your loss, Carl. Praise the goal. Well, thank you guys. I think we're hitting the goal today. I appreciate that. At Arkansas, formerly Arkansas's theorem. This little piggy crossed the line. This little piggy laughed with glee. This little piggy paid a 50 fine, but this little piggy will never be free. New lyrics.
It's going to be above $50. Like $50 is all that bragging about the $50.
I know. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. He totally deserves this. Ghost Crusader Stevie.
I wish I lived in Canada so I could convince Johnny to get euthanized. Yeah, I said it. He is a truly useless slab of meat. I don't even know I have him on as a co-host. Oh, yeah, he makes me look good.
He doesn't make you look good.
Tang Lizard coming in.
TM Zumach here. We've got breaking news, watcha. Burr Stickum. The great and amazing Moody has been arrested. This was clear because of his association with Pedomelt.
Detective Cardiff is on the case, as you can clearly see in every single frame of this super tip. Chad Zumach has been lying.
Very well done, Cardiff. Frank Niblas. Why does Johnny Crutches always sound like he's about to break into tears? By the way, all my joking in the chat aside, RIP to your dad, Carl. Sorry about your loss. Well, thank you very much, Frank. I think he sounds like that because he is on the verge of tears at all times. It's a very sad man.
But also, it's genuinely difficult to live life the way that Johnny lives his life. He's got MS. His body is literally breaking down and degenerating.
And
he's friends with Aaron Imholt.
He lives in his ex's basement. Can you imagine? He has to listen to her fucking upstairs.
It's not an easy existence being Johnny. Like as much as you make fun of him, it's tough being him.
God, it's getting fucking dark. I am in like a sunroom right now, and you can barely see me. All right, moving on.
Why should you go to jail for a crime somebody else saw? Call 1-800 blah blah blah. No hablo español.
Frank Nebulous again.
Aaron, even though you got detained again, there's still a profitable way to spin this. Fake an $800 donation in order to incite a donation frenzy to cover your mounting legal expenses.
And then what, old wise beggy monster?
Then rush home, get that unfortunate button-peen turgid, and make off-putting, sad, short-lived, hurried love to Slam Pig's expired, stale Swedish fish.
Oh, God, him talking about getting laid was... Oh.
Who brags about fucking their significant
their
other?
girlfriend? I know, it's so weird.
I assume that happens all the time.
Someone who doesn't fuck.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to say, Moody? Yeah,
when it's a significant event in your life that is notable.
Yeah.
That's the sort of person.
Wow. And there's so much we haven't gotten to on this show, but it's too much. It's too much to get to. Mark Davis coming in.
It always CMs in threes. Lisa Boswell, Ski Mask, and Papa Carl. Guess I'm safe till next year. Another win for the toe.
I think you'll be fine, Aaron. You know what's that whole thing where he gets this big donation and he thinks all this money's going to come in? It's got to be killing him that everyone wants to tune into his channel for him to talk about this and react to this court case, and he cannot mention it.
He does, though. And he's also being brought to tears for the level of support that he's getting. Meanwhile, like, these people are supporting him because what's happening to him is bullshit and all of that. It's a real lack of remorse. And I'm ready. I've got a soapbox ready to go about this next clip, Carl.
Okay, we're going to get through this. So thorough Joe Burrow, one of my favorites. I'd trade Johnny's arms if it would bring Carl's dad back. It's very sweet of you.
The consensus seems to be that people are upset that Aaron saved Johnny's life by giving him purpose.
Yeah. If he got rid of his arms, he'd be a nugget, like Johnny Nuggets.
Erica Mitchell, $10. Big hugs, Carl. Thank you, Erica Mitchell. That's very sweet. This is the show I do where people hate me, so this is very impressive. What's happening right now? The other shows I do,
this is the show.
Yeah. It's like you're thinking, I wish my dad could die every fortnight if I get this level of support.
Oh, stop it.
Jeez,
Mike Dick.
Moody, too soon.
Yeah, Moody, you went too far right there. Coach Scott, for occasional guest host, we should all hit his gym with good reviews. Yes, he is a sweet guy from everything that we can tell. And I would love to get him as a guest on this show. That'd be amazing.
Sorry for your loss, Carl. I bet he was a good father. Not a great father like me, though.
Right, that is true. No one's as good a father as well, Dad.
Is Carl's mic loud because his dad died?
No,
Sleep, Dad.
I'm using my laptop, Mike. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, that's too soon.
Eddie Valentino, Johnny is unlikable Butters. Also, I like that. Also, my condolences to you and your family on the loss of your father. Thank you very much. Thanks for being here. Ton of viewers tonight, which I really appreciate. This has been probably the most wild week in the Steel Toe since we started the show. When's Kino Casino going to cover this one? They have not yet?
Whoa, buddy.
I'd be surprised. Scott was an attorney? Really?
I think his brother is, or something like that, is an attorney.
Oh, I thought Scott was too. I thought he owned a firm.
Maybe he was.
No, I think it's his brother.
Oh, okay.
But he throws his name around in the small town, like Calm and Reuters, Calm.
Scott alludes to the fact that Aaron has tried to drag him in legally to some stuff.
Right.
And Scott says in one of the videos I don't have time for being a witness or going to court or like, this is stupid.
No one wants to deal with this bullshit. It's time to flood the gym with positive reviews again. That's another one.
A letter from Scott would have been good. This guy volunteers for all of it. Like
Moody, don't forget about his hunchback. Yeah, that's a good point. You were calling him obese earlier. You forgot about that.
Sorry. A hunchback is obese as well.
They had to carve out part of the bench in the courtroom for me to sit
down. We've all loved Rumble in the Jungle, but I can't wait for Biggie in the boat and the boot. I'm sorry, I'm losing my vision right now.
It's getting dark, I heard.
It is. There's a storm coming through.
I don't care.
British 244. Aaron flipped out today at a silly semen joke. He had rage in his eyes. He's not someone who can handle his emotions in a ring or any aspect of his life.
So I haven't watched many of the shows since he's been back. I guess Moody's going to talk about it, but like you said, everyone talking about this and him not being able to offer any spin has been eating his.
Oh,
brain.
he wants to spin it so bad. So where did he send everyone? So Thursday morning he comes out and he goes like, I can't talk about anything. Go to Meme Copium.
Yep.
So does he think Meme Copium has his back, or does he have his back? Is that why he said that?
He has his Meme Copium. I tuned into that stream. Meme Copium is like going around making fun of Nick in the midst of all of this.
Okay. Droopy Nuts says Moody looks like Baba Booey. Agree? It's a little Baba Booey going on there. Seen that?
I had the teeth for it.
Peter E. Lindo. I pity the person who betrays Moody in real life. His autism will find you. I know. I try to stay on his good side. I was like Patrick Melton over here.
I'm actually really nice. I don't need to weaponize my autism in my day-to-day.
You are a sweet guy. Frank Niblis says, Coach Scott, who Aaron claims is a pal and father figure, just said Melton is more manly than Aaron. On cam, Scott called Aaron an emotional lady. Yes, thank you for watching this program. This was very important. This shatters the entire world Aaron has painted. The world that Aaron says he lives in and that everyone else is a liar. We have proven today on this show that it's just the opposite.
But it's easy for him to put that bubble wrap back on. He'll be like, Scott's a nice guy. When Patrick showed up, Scott wanted to disarm him by being nice. And
Johnny has the cleanest sneakers of all time. I got them in 2003. Saves tons of money. Moody is a beautiful man. I'll hurt people for him. Love you, Sauce.
Thank you.
And who, whatnot. Copium repeats Aaron's bullshit for real. Okay. So no wonder he's like, oh, go watch that. Which, by the way, is that a violation?
Yeah. So that's
let's talk about that.
That's one of the things I wanted to talk about. Did we want to? I've got this clip loaded up. Do we want to?
Yeah. Do you want me to share it?
So before we go into this clip, Patrick, you said that the judge made it clear to Aaron what the conditions entail, what not mentioning Kayla is, right?
Yeah, he said she listed a million ways of contacting him and said anything you think she could see. And then, also reiterated indirectly mentioning her.
Right.
Right.
I think you told me she even said talking about how you can't talk about it is talking about it.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah, I think because that was several of the violations that were.
Right. And one of the things that I think one of the violations that Nick talked about was how Aaron went on his Twitter when he was on holiday. He went on his Twitter saying, Gino and Keanu are going to be on the show. Ask them questions about things that I can't really talk about, and they'll answer them. And then Kiki revealed that Aaron privately went to her and said, Aaron told us to talk about Kayla.
To be clear, I think he can talk about the court case and that he's involved in a case. He can't talk about Kayla. He can't talk about the person. I think he can go, hey, I went to court yesterday for this. It's getting kicked down the road October. So I think he can. You'd be walking a line, but I think it's really about the victim. It's not about you can't mention you have a case.
Right. Okay, this is from Doom.
Send his lawyers this clip, penis wrinkle.
Welcome to the Steel Toe Morning Show. What happened? Good morning. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Here's the deal. Thank you all of you who sent the well wishes and the kind messages. There were a bunch of them. I appreciate it.
The list goes on.
It's just one.
Very, very kind. if you want to talk about anything yesterday related or anything related to anything going forward, here's
Yes.
what I will tell you.
That's what we want to talk about.
There are shitloads of people who are going to talk about it. Shit.
It's us. I think he's talking about us, guys.
I don't think that's a violation.
No, it's not. But it's like you're stepping up to the line in a case where you've thought you were doing that safely and you couldn't.
Loads of people who are going to talk about it endlessly. Like it's all they have in the world. All right? I will not. I will thank everyone who sent me very kind messages. Thank you to Cheetos, who's an absolute G, I think superstar of the day.
All right, pause it.
Yeah.
We got to talk about Cheetos real quick, but go ahead, Woody. What were you going to say?
Later on in that show, so for those who don't know, Patrick, Nick, Kayla, and a bunch of fans went to Stoney's afterwards, and then Cheetos kicked them out, for lack of a better thing. Just summarizing it. Aaron, later on in the show, talks about how Cheetos is a folk hero. Cheetos kicked out the trolls. Those trolls were disgusting, and Cheetos got rid of them. Those trolls?
Kayla's one of those trolls.
One of those trolls is Kayla. That's...
Okay, that's interesting. I have a note from this guy, Mark, who was hanging out with you guys, who went to Stoney's with you. He says, I really only have one addition to the recaps I've seen Patrick give so far. I was at the opposite end of the table from Melton at Stoney's. Long before the confrontation happened, notes were being passed around amongst us at the table that something was off. The idea of them calling in more people to hassle us was floated. I felt so uncomfortable that I was already out of my seat and heading to say goodbyes when the shit hit the fan. I think at least one other person was right behind me with the same plans.
I've mentioned that. I said Stoney's, so Cheetos was on his phone the entire time. Now, as we know now, he was on the Toe Boys Facebook group posting about how we were there.
Okay.
But Nick and I both mentioned, like, if one biker shows up, we got to get out of here because more are on the way.
Yeah.
Because it's a biker bar.
Yeah.
Not a good one, from what I understand now. But yeah, we 100% all knew that. This guy was angry we were there. It was an empty bar. We had 10 people in total, and he couldn't be more upset that we were in his bar. He called us losers the minute we walked in, and then I mentioned that Aaron was in jail, and his response was, "Yeah, Aaron's a loser too," which is insane.
Funny.
But yeah, like it just, for a business owner to kick out your only customers during the day. And just spoiler alert, after this, I went to Raleigh's, who was his old bar sponsor. If you watch any old Steel Toe stuff, Raleigh's is down in the corner. This place was packed. So that's a bar that doesn't sponsor Aaron anymore.
I was going to say, but Stoney's logo was on every episode. I mean, you would think that people would be like, top of mind, we got to go to Stoney's. No?
Their 30th anniversary.
Yeah. So Aaron's I guess he's in trouble for harassing a victim and not being able to stop talking about her. And they were telling him, stop, you've got to stop doing that. And he couldn't, he's here encouraging and glorifying someone dealing with that victim and people related to it. Like, he's immediately back on his show encouraging people to keep messing with that. Like, it's this is a positive outlook on.
Yeah, it's got a plausible deniability, I would say.
Sure, but to like even get into a situation where you need to utilize plausible deniability to be like, yeah, I wasn't talking about that.
He's going to trip up worse than this, Woody, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
That's what, this is day one. This is
Right.
like minute one.
Minute one, yeah, right.
Off and being back.
I have a big Weird Al concert I'm going to with my daughter on Saturday. I'm very excited. You want to watch some meme copium? Meme will talk about it. As far as I go, I told you yesterday I'm burying my past.
Can you pause it real quick?
Yes.
I just want to pull this up because, like I was saying at the top of the show, it seems like some of the Kiwis are starting to recognize that while they hate Nick Rekieta, Aaron also is garbage and a piece of shit. And I think this might be one of them. Natasha, very good, in New Zealand says, Meme Copian and others use Aaron to make fun of Nick. That's all. I'm learning about Aaron through you guys. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that
starting to say, are we the baddies?
Right.
Precisely. Yes.
Like utilizing, like I remember Sean going over like the list of conditions that Aaron has. One of them was you need to turn up to jail regularly, and he's like, well, Aaron can do that 100% of the time, but Nick can't. It's like, you're talking about Aaron violated conditions, and he's trying to go as far out of his way to bring it back to be around about Nick. It's so weird. And when Meme Copium was covering this, rather than talk about anything to do with Aaron, he skipped to the story about Stonies and getting kicked out of Stonies. Yeah. That is the own that he was going.
Made a great point too. He has to watch super chats he puts up about Nick too, because let's say a super chat says something like, "Don't forget, Rakata's kids tested positive for coke." That could be about Kayla.
Yeah,
her name's Rakata. What are you saying? It's like.
It's her kids, yeah.
Also, why do you leave your mouse on this? This is getting lazy. This is some Will Heron level clipping. Leaving your mouse in frame.
Do
Get
better.
It together.
She's the worst.
Yesterday, and I've buried my past as far as I'm concerned. We're moving on. Again, if you want to talk about it, you are welcome to talk about it anywhere you want. If you send me money to talk about it, it will not get put up on the screen. It will not get read. If you came here to harass me about any of it, you're totally free to do that wherever you want. My guys,
now,
just
all right, I want to point out something. I realize that this is like legal. He should have done this a long time ago. He's finally learned to not be talking about this. This is legally what he should be doing.
Let it breathe.
But what I love about this, though, Patrick, is that we were watching at the beginning of the show, the clip from a week before, where he's going, fuck you, I'm going to get this plea deal, and you guys are all idiots, and you want me to get in more trouble, but it's not going to happen. This is completely being the loser in this. And I hate bringing that up because wins and losses are not a thing that exists in this world. Only Aaron thinks that's true. But he's literally has to concede defeat. He's lost. It's over.
Cardiff's kids.
It is over right now. This guy is a loser. He has to come on here and say, guys, this thing that everyone's interested in that you want me to talk about, you give me money to talk about, I can't talk about it. That's taking a giant L.
Yeah.
Even I'd say,
I don't think he can keep it up.
But even saying that, what you said, Carl, is I think getting too close to it. There is a way for him to not even like put himself at risk. It would be, hi everyone. I want to remind everyone that this show is about the news, current events, goofing about it, and having a good time. If you're here for
and
other
the Vikings,
reasons, if you're here about other reasons, this isn't the show for you. And if you start to comment on things to do with my personal life and things like that, you will be banned from the chat. I don't want anything from me to end up staining the show. Saying that,
we know that he can't do a show without talking his personal life. We know that him saying, I won't read your chats about any of this stuff is going to dry up his chat room more than he dries up any bar where there's women where he's singing karaoke. I mean, it is.
Get rid of him. We roll with the people who support us.
I'm sorry, you paused at the wrong time. Back it up like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
This is where he tells the mods.
Yeah.
He tells the mods to ban people.
You're totally free to do that wherever you want. My guys, just go ahead and get rid of them.
It is wild that the way he's phrasing this isn't, don't talk about this stuff. You'll get kicked out. He's like, go and talk about it as much as you want, just not here. It's still like phrased in a way that's encouraging people to discuss it and consume.
Well, it goes along with what he's saying about like, I'm burying my past. It's like, well, there's a continuance, and this is not your past anymore. This is your present. And we all know he is still feverishly checking Kiwi Farms and he can't not do it.
I also love the cycle of what he tells his mods to do. If I was one of his moderators, I'd be like, all right, what are we doing today? We're letting everything slide. We're banning everyone for any little misstep. So he's back to banning everyone.
We roll with the people who support us. We roll with the people who love the toe. And for me, I got a fucking show to do.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right. Off we go. The clones are never as good as the original. Yeah, Cheetos, I don't know, but you're a superstar, man. A lot of people saying great shit about Cheetos today. Thank you, buddy. Yeah,
Cheetos look like an emotional bitch. I'm telling you right now, Cheetos look like an emotional bitch. He lost his mind and business.
Also, so I don't understand the law aspect of this, I'll be honest, but he's not allowed to mention Kayla. He's not allowed to talk about that case or anything like that. Can he talk about Patrick Melton and a bunch of guys being Stonies and getting thrown out?
Yeah,
and then he alludes to it. He just goes, yeah, so anyway, Cheetos is cool. Well, talk about it.
He wouldn't put up anything. People were super chatting about Coach Scott and me. He wouldn't put it up.
Yeah, he's pretending that's also part of like, oh, I'm not allowed to talk about it. No, you can. Go ahead. Comment away. Yeah. What's your side?
But also, if you zoom out and look at what's happening here, he is elevating this person in the community, Cheetos, in the steel toe community, and saying, good boy, well done for interacting with and hassling these people that are involved in this crime that I committed, the victim in this crime. Thank you for kicking her out of the bar. She's just that's what he's, it's like
be
getting
aggressive,
to the
be aggressive is the cheer that he's going with.
It's I can't be worried about anything that the internet says. It's just onward and upward.
It's all he does is read the internet.
Eltrain
We
says
have proof.
It's impressive that the boss
But
still
that's
sells
why he
this
flew to
and
Minnesota and talked to all of his friends.
Yeah.
Right.
I know you're not worried about what the internet says. What about Coach Scott? What about Wapakata Golf Club? What about what about everyone everywhere that I talk to? Because they all say the same thing pretty much.
But he's saying that I can't afford to care about what the internet thinks. But he said this right after a sentence that started with, everyone's giving kudos to Cheetos today. Like, that is something that the internet is saying.
Yes, correct. Good point.
Like it's the first time. Bro, you don't think that I'm going to love that 230 bit until the end of time? I'm going to love it until the end of time. And honestly, I'm a little self-conscious because my weight is down today. You know, bubble guts and stress shitting and all.
What happened? The day before, he was excited. It was going to be a great day.
You had nothing to worry about.
Putting it behind
now he's stressed
him.
out and shitting? What happened?
Going to read that letter.
When he signed the plea deal, he had one of these breakdowns too where he was like, I'm so glad. I can't even tell you how much stress this has been. Oh, well, you were hiding it well.
Right.
Now we're supposed to believe that he's buried the past and he's moving on. It's like, we know that this is ongoing.
That's funny.
At 230, I thought you were talking about my weight, which it hasn't been that high since like 2015. So I was about to get mad, but I'm fine.
Hit the like button.
It skipped it here. Oh, I don't remember hearing it, but he directed people to go and watch Meme Copium.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, right. So one of the things that he was really excited about this week is reading this letter. He was thinking, I'm going to go to the sentencing. I've got this letter that I've been waiting to get this off my chest.
Not only that, people are going to be surprised at what I'm going to do.
Yes.
It was an action that he was going to, I've only told one internet person what I'm going to do, but it's going to blow a lot of minds.
He's just like, he's seeing this about him. Like, zoom out. He thinks the sentencing is about him, not about getting justice for the victim.
He not even does he think it's about him. He thinks it's about him versus Rekieta. And so this whole thing, he thinks this was a retaliation for him snitching on them. And this is the narrative he's put out there. Gino thinks that, Keanu thinks that. Like, they all think that, like, oh, this isn't even revenge porn. It's not even a real case. This is just the Rekieta's getting revenge on him, which I guarantee is what that letter was going to be all about. Ha ha, suck it, $50, and you got 5 years probation. And like, that's what he was going to say, I assume.
No.
And you're right. It's not about any of that. It's about him committing a crime and a victim being
For the
involved.
record, the only words that Aaron M. Holt spoke in court were, yes, Your Honor, when asked if October 2nd works for him. That's the only time he talked.
Aaron is he sees the sentencing as an opportunity for him to bury his past and get over it. No one cares about you in this situation. It's about restoring justice to the victim so that she can continue on with her life. And then it's just up to you if you want to do that later.
Let me just point out real quick the other thing that Mark told me, who was with you guys in the court, Patrick. He says, Aaron on his show is like in total control and he's the alpha male and he's the one telling you what's up. When he gets to the courtroom, it's just the opposite. He's quiet. He's scared. He's staring straight ahead. He's hunched over.
He was completely slumped down in his chair. Todd was taller than him. I remember seeing it. Again, I'm right behind them. And Todd's significantly shorter than Aaron. And Aaron was completely down in his chair. Like completely just beaten.
Yeah.
I really believe when he got told he was going to be taken to jail that day, it broke him. Like he was
not ready for that. He did not ready.
This letter was going to be about how he's changed. He sees the error of his ways and he sees what's important in his life, his kids, his families, his relationships.
Okay.
And that he's trying to put this person behind him. But no one cares.
You
do that on your own time later. This is about justice for Kayla. Essentially, that's what the criminal justice system is.
Well, you see this thing a lot where the judge right before sentencing asks if the defendant has anything to say. And usually that is a time to plea for leniency. But this was a plea deal. This was already settled, apparently.
Right.
And so this then became an opportunity for him to grandstand about his own growth and his own life. And whatever he wrote, and hopefully we do get to hear it one day, boy, he was excited to share it, and he thought it was going to be just like an epiphany for him. This was going to be make the whole court stand up and go, wow, we've never heard of a defendant who's grown like this, and what a man.
Right. Yes. Aaron's writing his redemption arc before he's even hit rock bottom.
Right.
That's what's happening right now, right? So he's incapable of changing as a person. He'll only say what he thinks makes him sound like a good person rather than actually becoming a good person. To the point where you saw the clip that we just played. I mean, even under threat of jail, Aaron's incapable of sympathizing with the victim or changing his behavior. And
go to Meme Copium. He's talking about it over there. He's got my back.
I think it'll get even worse because his brain hasn't had full time to process this yet. He took Wednesday night off. But when he came back on Thursday, he said, like, I'm putting all this behind me. The past is behind me. Like you said, he's writing his redemption arc. He thinks this is over. It is not over.
It's just beginning.
More than likely, it's going to be a lot worse if a new plea deal gets offered. It will be a worse plea deal. They never get better. It's not going to be a $25 fine. That's not how plea deals work. So he still doesn't understand, or at least he's not outwardly showing that he understands that this is not over.
Right.
Guys, I just want to break in real quick. I know this is neither here nor there, but producer Chris is here with me at the Airbnb, and he just looked in the garage. And apparently there's a blow-up sex doll that's blown up in our garage at this place. So I just want to point out.
Behind me. I got one behind.
5-star review, everybody. 5 stars for this one.
I think one of the things that really struck me about just witnessing how all of this is going down is that Aaron really sees that every act of his abuse as an opportunity for his own self-actualization. Like he sees every time he abuses someone, this is how I'm going to be better in the future. He's incapable of seeing a victim. Instead, he sees an opportunity for growth that he can project out there. And it would be exhausting being in a relationship with someone like that. No wonder he's got 2 divorces, because every time you try to have a discussion with him about how his actions are impacting on your feelings or your needs in a relationship, he sees that as like a way for him to be a victim and needing support from people around him, and him not really meaningfully changing anything about himself. And it's
Moody, I hate to say it, I've said it many times, it's called narcissism.
Right.
He's a narcissist. Like everything is about him, and everyone else is just like around his world. And that's the only way he can see life. He can't even comprehend. Like if he watched this clip, he'd be like, Carlos doesn't know me at all. It's like, no, we all know, we can recognize it. You're a narcissist. You need help.
If this epiphany was real And he genuinely had an epiphany this weekend where he was like, nothing in my life is more important than hanging out, spending time with my kids, being a good father, and supporting the people that are around me. Then nothing, Cheetos would not matter. This show wouldn't matter. He wouldn't be on the internet really anymore. Whatever people have to say about him don't matter. Cheetos kicking Nick out, I don't have time for that. I'm dealing with my kids and becoming a better person. So I don't care about that. People sending him support, saying that the situation he's in is bullshit. He's like, I got myself into this situation. I don't need you to be standing up for me.
He's learned nothing, which is what we all.
The reason that epiphany is not real is because there is nobody around him. Like I imagine his own mother and father have had enough of this shit over and over and over again. They've seen it over and over again. I don't think Matt is around. I don't think Corey Adam fucking talks to him. April surely doesn't talk to him. If he's still got SP there, God bless her. You know, Johnny is not involved in his life in any way at all. I'm telling you, I can't imagine. There was a post on Reddit today, or yesterday, that said, I'm friends with one of Aaron's neighbors, or I'm one of Aaron's neighbor on his street. We all know he's annoying. We all know he's a liar. We all cringe when he comes out of his garage. They said he walks over like a 10-year-old kid when he sees a neighbor outside and tries to start up a conversation, and they all check out their windows before they go outside to make sure Aaron's not outside. They all just put up with him, but they all dread him coming over.
Now, we don't know if any of that's true. It's on Reddit.
We don't, but I feel that energy. When the way he talks about, I go hang out with my neighbor, I feel like he's the guy who opens his garage and sits in a lawn chair drinking one of his Bloody Marys, waiting for another guy to come out of their yard so he can go like, hey, neighbor. I love that energy.
He lets his dog go running into the neighbor's lawn, so he has to chase after it. Right. Oh, sorry.
What
Gordy.
You burgers? You cooking burgers right now?
Yeah, right.
He's spent the last year talking about how he's pulling up and getting his life in order. But Patrick, what happens if you pull up constantly and don't stop pulling up?
Guys,
the plane stalls and you fall out of the sky. And that is what is happening to Aaron. You can't keep pulling up. Once you've pulled up, you need
Carl
to get
has
the
a concert to go to or something.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's go, dude.
So I want to make an announcement. Today's show was about Aaron, but it's more about the goal than anything else. We're $9.99 away from the goal. And I'm happy to tell you that James Bomer is the one who gave us the $9.99 we needed to reach the goal. He says, Carl, I don't like you. You made me send you money because I feel bad for your father. I really don't like you. Sorry again about your dad. I don't like you. Sorry again. James, thank you very much. You put us over the top. I appreciate it. Who, what, why? Meme Copian said that Patrick is obsessed with Aaron's kids. He likes Aaron in that initially he seems fine. Then you learn he's an idiot. Lol.
Even Aaron's not obsessed with his kids. Why would I be?
He hates being around the kids. Why is nobody talking about how Aaron, for all intent and purposes, basically ducked Melton when he had a chance to confront him face-to-face at court? Remember all those times Aaron talked tough? Yes. Sitting right behind him, clicking your pen, and he wouldn't acknowledge your existence.
His lawyer down to take him up a back way.
Yep. Now we need an arrest countdown website.
-2 days.
That blow-up doll is now pressing charges. Oh, shit, I doxed it. My bad. Carl, if you ignore my chat once more, we won't be pals anymore. Tell the Aussie guy to stop ending sentences with a question. I hate onions.
That's just how we talk?
Is it really? Is it true Coach called him a tofu fighter? I do like that his next court appearance is in October. There's something there.
It is a shame that Papa Hamburger is gone and asshole Melendez, mother of that deadbeat who helped John hide money from Susanner and his children. 100%. Knight's dick is longer and fatter than John's.
My hot take, tranny mess, whatever it is, has a bigger and thicker dick than I do. Hell, Lily's tongue makes more women come than I have in my entire life.
Thank you, Dabble Babble. Very fun. We don't talk about kids on the show. Not going to lie, Scott is a national treasure. We love Scott.
The way Scott handled us showing up there, and the way Cheetos handled us showing up there couldn't be more polar opposite.
Yep.
Again, you had an opportunity for us to all walk out of there going, nah, Stonies and Cheetos, just a guy with a business. He doesn't understand Aaron uses him and manipulates him. And no, Cheetos knows and doesn't care. And that's why his business is fucking empty. Like, cause he's a sour old man. Like he came around the bar to fight me and caught himself, which was insane.
And you witness it all firsthand, which is there's a lot of speculation on these shows. A lot of us going, I bet this happened. I bet this person feels this way. Like you saw it. You have receipts. You're going to show it on NLO. When's that going to happen?
I unfortunately don't have him when he's. I'm so stupid because I had.
Well, there was eyewitnesses there though. Like I was talking about, like Mark. There's other people who saw it happen.
100%. And I was being really nice and gracious to him. I asked him about his merch. I asked him if he had hats. He said, "Yeah, we have hats." So I didn't think anything of when I walked up 5 minutes, 10 minutes later to get a hat that he would come back and be like, "I don't want pedos wearing my hat."
Right.
That was insane. And I even told him the minute I got there, I go, "If you don't want us here, we'll leave. We're not here to cause any problems. We just kind of want to see where it all happens, the room where it happens." And he just got progressively more grumpy. And it just, again, Scott was a great dude, handled everything well, was happy to talk to us, based in reality. Cheetos is not.
One of them sponsors the podcast, the other one does not.
It's recast Scott in a slightly different light for me, because there was a time when we thought Scott was like this out of it guy who's not really plugged into the internet.
Right.
But then he did that stream where he was like, "It's innocent until proven guilty. I stand up for Aaron. You come and show up in person." And he was really going to bat for him, which seemed really, really weird. Like it just made Scott look bad.
And I asked him, I said, he's guilty, right? Like he's pleading guilty.
Yeah.
I have that.
So, yeah, but then like I think Scott's just one of those guys that goes into bat for you when you're one of his guys. And it takes a lot for him to be like, "You're not one of my guys anymore." And Aaron might have crossed that line. Or
Mark Davis
is coming close to it.
If Steel Toe ever disappears, the three of you need to keep doing shows together. You are Voltron. I even like Moody. Well, if we keep doing shows together, we got to figure out when Tukey can be here, because we lost a guy along the way somehow. Disappointing. All right, never mind. Fuck Tukey. The reply guy.
Yo! Hope the Toe will be forced to register as a sex offender. I hate that guy.
I don't think so.
You shouldn't hope for that, because that means he needs to commit a new sex crime, which you shouldn't want to wish. This is not a sex crime.
Beloved Cheddar.
Harold Merton, I miss you wrong time. You do kung fu now instead of Dilty Wilson pugilism. Bry.
Oh, no, he's Asian too? That's not good. Matt Facto with $100. Thank you very much, Matt. That's incredible. He says, "Carl, you are one of Detroit's adopted sons. I am so sorry to hear about the loss of your father. My son and I cannot wait to see you and the entire WATP tribe in September." Thank you, Matt. Yes, tickets are on sale for the Magic Bag September 12th. TheMagicBag.com. There's also a link on our homepage, whoarethese.com. You can get tickets for that. They have been selling very quickly. They went on sale 2 weeks ago? Not even. And we've sold more than 2/3. So get on that.
Why are you're in Detroit now?
I'm in Detroit now because I'm going to see Devo tomorrow night. And I'm going to see the Tigers on Sunday night.
You just bring producer Chris with you everywhere?
Well, we're doing WATP tomorrow from Drew Lane Studio.
What a loser.
A loser. I love Detroit. It's like my second home. I love this place. It's so fun coming here. And thank you, Matt. And thank you to Detroit for embracing WATP. Principal Uncertainty.
Did you bring a $20 bill? Because you could buy a third house in Detroit.
Dude, this Airbnb that we're in is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. I think I could probably pay for this with cash if I wanted to. But we're in Royal Oak, which is, by the way, beautiful. I love Royal Oak. Nowhere near downtown Detroit.
My favorite charcoal.
I went to a conference down there about 10 years ago, and they're like, "Do not walk 3 streets that way. You need to stay in this block."
Yeah. It's everybody knows where to go and where not to go. I think that's true of most cities at this point. Principal Uncertainty.
Red Ross says nothing on me.
You have officially turned into a monster.
Okay. And the text is theft. I agree.
If Carl hadn't turned on me, I might feel bad.
Aaron from Steel Toe is so bitter, like an old lemon that you mistakenly eat because you thought it was an apple, a sweet tango apple with razor blades in it. But I digress.
I can't believe Karma wouldn't come down.
I know.
3 days notice. It's a 4-hour drive.
What a pussy move. Like, I need more time. Like, what do you got going on?
I got upgraded to a hotel room with 2 bedrooms. One of them had 2 queen beds. One of the bedrooms had 1 queen bed. I would have let him crash. I would have let Karma crash with me. That would have been great.
Would have been great for
That's
stories.
a terrible decision. That's a horrible decision.
Come on.
A karmic feud with Cheetos would be fantastic. That's what I need. Karmic
All
and
right.
Cheetos to feud with each other.
We got to wrap it up. I have places to go, people to
Shocker.
talk to, things to do. We've been spending almost 3 hours.
When you're not on this show, we go until we stop having fun.
Right.
You're always rushing.
I
It's all about
know.
money for you. It's all about,
like,
hey,
let's-
get your tips in. I got to get
No. Let me clear this up. Let me clear this up. Shut up, Moody. Shut the fuck up, Moody.
Johnny during the most
Shut the
important week of
fuck
Aaron's
up.
life.
This is a very important show, and I'm glad that we got to everything we got to.
This one ever. We got to go.
Let me explain to you guys. I'm on the East Coast. All right. So it's Friday night at 7:00 where I'm at. Producer Chris and I just got into town. We have an art exhibit to get to. That's where I'm heading to next. There's going to be dinners to be eaten. There's things to do here.
Late and gay.
I'm just saying, it's for you guys. It's easy. If I started the show at 1 p.m, I could go for 6 hours too. That'd be fine. I start this at 4.
Go out for dinner at 7 p.m. Okay, like isn't that early?
Didn't I say I had an art exhibit to go to first? Moody, are you paying attention? Is anyone listening to this?
No, I don't listen to your shows.
Not even when you're on them. Melton, would you have protected Nick with your backside hide if some biker guy came out with a knife? Your hump hide is bulletproof. That is true. You have a superpower.
No, we would have gotten the priority would be basically if police were going to show up, Nick needs to get the fuck out of there because he can't be, he is on probation.
That's
so he can't
true.
be involved in any kind of thing like that.
Especially with a giant bar fight at Stoney's.
He actually, he didn't think about it. Cheetos was insane because we were all standing there. Again, there's 10 of us. We're the only people in there. Before all of us arrived, they asked if they could push some tables together, and Stoney's did this. He said, or Cheetos said, you got to wait till they get here. It's like, what is your fucking, and then so Nick and Kayla are standing there. Nick can't drink. Kayla can drink. Nick can't have alcohol. And he walks up to them. They hadn't been there 3 minutes. He walks up and goes, are you guys just going to take up space? Are you going to order something? I mean, it's just like, way to make people feel welcome in your bar. And I know that wasn't his intention, but it's crazy. It's just like, and then he ordered a cherry Coke. And when he got it, he was like, that was stupid of me. I should have made sure to watch him make it because this guy could slip me alcohol and fuck my world up. And he said, I'd have to call the police immediately and say, I didn't order alcohol. And this guy put alcohol, which would put, apparently that's like a big crime. I didn't know that. Like if you give someone alcohol who didn't order it, he could lose.
You didn't know that? Yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
I assume people make mistakes and stuff, but I didn't know you could lose your liquor license for doing that. So I guess intentionally.
7 p.m. is early for dinner. When do you eat, Moody?
After the sun goes down, once I've done my 4th prayer for the day.
Jesus Christ.
Happy Pride, cunts. Yes, Pride is almost over. We're going to do a bonus show on Who Are These Podcasts on the 30th. That's my second bonus show. I'm doing a crossover with Blind Mike. That'll be Monday night on the 30th. And Patrick, when can people find you? I know you have a lot more video footage, a lot more stories to talk about.
You're good for next week. I want to thank Ricky Bev, who just accidentally sent me a super tip that was meant for you. So thank you for that, Ricky Bev.
There you
We
go.
will fix that on the upcoming version of super tip.
You've been talking about that for like a year.
It's coming, man, and it looks great. Within the next this summer, it'll be out. But I'm going live tonight. Be talking about more stuff. Members, we'll do a little non-members only stuff, and then we'll do some members only stuff. Nobody Likes Onions on YouTube. Thank you guys for sending me to Minnesota. Once you guys gave me the money, I was like, fuck, I got to do this now. And I hated it. And it was I didn't sleep on this trip, but thank you for sending me. I hope I got enough out of it for you guys to feel like it was worthwhile. And I did the best I could.
Moody, you want to start another segment or are we?
Oh yeah,
Good to wrap up.
You can find me on. I actually host a show. I actually host a show with Carl called "Who Are These? Who Are These?" where we talk about how many different podcasts that Carl hosts on his network. It's an intervention.
Who are
it's
these
the
Carl
first
casts?
intervention show about podcasts for men. So tune into that.
There's a show in town, it's going down. Every week we're back on solid ground. Steel toe slipping, but we're gripping. Got the tea to spill, it's always flipping. From April's script to Aaron's glee. Oh, this drama's just a spree. Polydrama, legal trauma. Another win, oh, that's the karma. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble.